are here. Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Hello.
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 Hello?
Greetings.
Everyone in chat, let me know how their voices are. Let's see. Let me go through and thank everyone for here. Waste is here. Thank you. Kanabo, welcome. Abs, welcome. Matsu, oh my god, hello. Kintran, welcome. Kel, Jedi, welcome in, everybody. It is a book stream. Here we go. But hello, everyone. I have Gunther, welcome in. Today I have with me Wastes, Kanabo, and Matsu Quinox, and we are going to be opening a box of books. I'm not joking when I tell you it is 40 pounds. It is filled with mass market paperbacks of literature. I'm super excited. Hopefully there's not like duplicates. I didn't even think of that.
True, there may be some that, well, I hope not,
I hope
but
it's not like I open the box and it's like 50 copies of To Kill a
It's just
Mockingbird.
the
I'll be
same
so
book,
mad.
just
Be
over
like,
and
God
over
damn
again.
it.
50 copies of Webster's Dictionary.
Right? I'd be like, oh my god. And stream's over. Great. Matsu's kind of low.
I'm
Okay.
kind of low. I'm kinda low.
I think Matsu, you'll have to adjust yours up.
Okay, hold on.
Wait,
Let me
let me
see if.
here.
Boost yourself,
I
Matsu.
boosted you. Try again.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
can you hear me better?
I forget I can control them on my end too.
Wait a second. I wonder if my things. Hold on. Let me double check
It
something.
might be me that
I'm
has you too low.
wondering.
Okay, you're
Oh,
better. You're
that's why.
better.
That's why.
Uh,
That's why. Hold on. Hold
oh
on.
no, I got you. I boosted you on my
Testing.
side.
Testing.
You're good.
I had the wrong default on my my audio.
Oh, that
Yeah.
helps too.
Mm.
I also had you for some reason set lower than the others. I'm not sure why.
Why?
Okay, Kidran, we didn't open the book yet, but yes, I will open the first book to page 174. Okay, let's introduce ourselves first. Everyone knows, hello, I'm Sophia Ignosi. I'm a teacher. Today we're doing a book unboxing stream. We have no idea what's in this box. It was provided to us generously by donors on Throne, and one of the biggest donors, if not the biggest donor, was FT Wastes. Yay! Thank you for that.
You're quite welcome. Like, seriously, I was so glad
Yay.
to provide that for you. Like, I knew you were looking forward to that stream, and I was just incredibly curious, so I wanted it to happen sooner than later.
And now you're on it. Rokas,
Yeah, there
welcome
you go.
in. So let's introduce yourselves. We're gonna go from the left side of my screen over. So Waste, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is FT Waste. That stands for From the Wastes. I am a horror and horror tangential VTuber. I do horror video games, read horror stories, and I'd say I draw horror artwork, but that makes it sound like it's bad artwork, which I don't think it is. So I do artwork as well.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I'm hoping for more content in the future, but that's what I do right now.
Yes. And next, Kanabo.
Hello, I am Kanabo Akamaru, an Oni VTuber. I have been on a hiatus for a while. But I mostly play basically Nintendo games a lot. I don't know exactly what I'll be doing in the future. I'm figuring myself out, but I stream video games and I like talking about manga. So
Yay.
Hey.
And Waste Ab says, "Excuse you, your art is amazing." Speaking of amazing art, Matsu.
Hello, greetings, salutations. I am Matsu Quinox, interdimensional omniversal librarian VTuber. I'm a variety streamer. I stream games, mostly comfy, cozy, or mostly point and click RPG games, and I also do reading streams. I voice
Yay.
act in my reading streams too, so
Yes,
there
they're
we
really
go.
fun. And
You
Matsu
have
also
quite
does
the range.
the best doodles ever.
Oh yes, my
Yes,
doodles.
Your
My
doodles.
doodles. I haven't
Everyone
done
loves
they
doodles
are
them.
a
in a while.
staple.
I need to do more
It's
doodles.
is it a good moment in a stream if it's not memorialized by a Matsu doodle?
It's true. It's not a group. It's not even a group like interaction if there's not a moment for a Matsu doodle
It's
based
true.
on
Oh, Kidrian says, and Matsu is a big Wogglebug pun fan.
Intron, I'll
it.
talk to you later.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're going to open books. The box is open. I have not looked at. Well, okay, I lie. I didn't look into it purposely. I opened it and the first book was just there. So the first book we'll go through. What's going to happen is I'll put it down, read the title and author, and then we'll all discuss it as we go. And if you tell me to open to a certain page, we will do that for the first sentence. So the first book is, are we ready?
Ready?
Let's go.
Let's
Okay,
see it.
let me
Let's see
open the
it.
box.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
peeking in. I'm just grabbing a book blindly. The
Okay,
first book
see what it
is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Hell
Yeah,
Oh,
we're starting
yeah.
off strong.
Oh yeah.
What a
By
yeah.
start.
Robert
Oh, my
Louis
goodness.
Stevenson. Is there even 174 pages? There are not. So sorry, Kintran, I'll get the next book on that. So um
What if you cut the one off the front? Is there a page
no,
74?
no, I'll go with the
Oh,
actual. I mean there
Oh,
is,
okay.
but it's only like it's the see, this is what's funny. I love the Bantam classics.
Oh, Bantam's good.
They are,
Mhm.
right? The
They're great.
Bantam and Signet are my favorites. There's only
Oh.
114 pages in it. I can read this
I
on
love their
stream.
I love their covers.
Yeah.
I love their covers.
I'm trying to remember if I read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on stream yet.
I
I'm
know
not sure if I have.
Yeah,
I've read adaptions of the story like when I was younger, but I've never actually read it.
I have read it. I don't think I read it on stream though. It is a
Mm.
fascinating book compared to every other depiction in pop culture because it's like no single depiction has ever really captured what the book does.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard that in a summary of the book before. I've never read it, but like as everyone else who grew up as a kid in the '90s, every cartoon show had an episode that was just Dr. Jekyll and Mr.
Yeah,
Hyde.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
basically, yeah.
The one that springs to my mind is Arthur. Has anyone like the library episode where Brain
Ooh.
sings the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde song? Jekyll, Jekyll, Hyde, Jekyll, Hyde, Hyde, Jekyll.
No,
I don't
have
I
not.
mean I know Arthur, but I don't remember I don't know if I recall that episode. Did Wishbone have a Jekyll and Hyde episode?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Really?
Yes, they did. I believe so.
Interesting.
The thing that always fascinates me about Jekyll and Hyde is the fact that, well, the book is originally written as a mystery, so the big twist that everyone knows about isn't revealed till like the very final pages
It's also
Right.
of the
curious
original
too.
book.
Yeah, because
It's one of those books that you can't dodge the spoiler
Yeah,
for.
you can't. You
Yeah.
Yeah,
can't.
'cause everyone knows it now.
it's
But at the time, it was a big thing.
yeah, it's written in like as from like an outside perspective on
Right.
events. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're seeing like, oh, Dr. Jekyll went to this place with so and so, but this weird guy emerged from this other place.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
didn't see
yeah.
Jekyll leave. Like it's that kind of framework, and it's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ab says Waste should read it. It's like perfect for his horror reads. And Rick Yan says I like how the title emphasizes who is the doctor and who isn't. Yeah, it's and this you could probably read this in one stream.
Not a long book.
It's
Well,
not.
It's a
Pretty
novella.
concise.
It's a novella.
Oh my
technically.
gosh, this was somebody's textbook. It's got
Oh!
notes in it.
Someone's
Oh!
written notes in there.
It's
oh my gosh.
bonus.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
Tut tut on page 7. Tut tut said Mr. Utterson, and they crossed out tut tut and said shook his head in dismay. And they crossed it.
Wonder if they were doing like a paper
I'm
or something.
I'm
about it.
wondering. I see you feel as I do, said Mr. Enfield. Yes, it's a bad story, for my man was a fellow that nobody could have to do with, a really damnable man. And they crossed it out. They crossed out Mr., so they're just Enfield. And then that man, not for my man, but I guess they're adapting it.
Yeah.
More modern.
Weird.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
really
that was an
interesting.
assignment for it. Like,
I'm
to
wondering because it's
take
only
the
on
classic
that.
story and adapt it.
Yeah, it's only that one page. Nope, there's another one. Important search for Mr. Hyde. Important to set up Utterson. Doesn't go right for safe.
Yeah, this almost sounds
Yeah.
like they're kind of like trying to make it into like an audio play or something like
Yeah.
Something
yeah.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
I love when I get books like that. Like some people are like, I don't like marking up books. When I was younger, I didn't. And there's a lot of books I never will. But classic texts like this, it's fun. And it's interesting to see.
I also wonder, because like a lot of modern stories you'll see will actually be like the plot of a really old story redressed in
Yeah.
some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I almost wonder if they weren't like using the book as like a first draft like some kind of story they were working through.
Yeah.
As a framework, yeah.
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 Briganne, I'm the one who did all those sleepless nights studying. If you want to be called a doctor, do the work. Oh, that's funny. The original price of this book, $2.95.
Oh.
That's it?
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Well, what was it at the time? That's the question.
Well, I
Actually,
don't know,
yeah.
but let's see. This
What
one
year
is
was that one released?
This one's published at copyright 1981, it seems. So
that's
it is
it.
an older
Oh.
one.
Yeah.
It seems about right. Okay, now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna put these down. Okay, I'm just gonna like plop it on the floor in a pile.
The beginning of the pile.
The beginning of the pile. Okay, the next book is another small one. Ooh, Stephen Crane's The Red Badge of Courage.
Oh.
Also
that
does not
one.
have page 174. Sorry, Kentran.
He's just
I
keep
read
redeeming
that
174.
book.
Did you
What?
say 1981 for the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde?
Yeah.
$2 then would be $30 now.
How much?
Ow.
Holy crap.
Whoa.
Nah, that can't be right. That's wild.
What?
Freaking inflation, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
I got an inflation calculator pulled up, so we can answer this question whenever you get one.
Well, it wouldn't be like, I guess. This one's 1994. Okay, I'll be honest. I never read The Red Badge of Courage.
I read it once. It was okay. Well, at the time that I read it, I'll admit I didn't read it too hard. I was kind of bored with it. It wasn't.
Is it kind of dry?
It was a forced reading, you know.
I was gonna say, I
It
feel
was
like
one
a
of
lot
those-
of people are forced to read this one in school.
Yeah, so at the time, and there was a Wishbone adaptation of this story. Believe it or
Okay.
not.
Huh.
But at the time, I recall, just being kind of like, this is boring. But I think if I was to reread it now, I'd probably enjoy it more, since I do like history, and this is a fascinating period of history. So I probably should go back and look into it.
Yeah.
Now, is it like nonfiction or historical fiction?
No, it's historical fiction. It's historical fiction.
According to the back, it's widely regarded as the first modern war novel.
Yeah, the Red Badge of Courage they're referring to, if I recall, is referring to being wounded in battle.
Probably.
And the story follows this younger soldier, young kid essentially, who goes into battle, and he earns his Red Badge of Courage in the story.
This one was $3.95 from Wonder Book. I guess if that's a bookstore or something. I don't know.
Wonder Book.
Yeah, it's not a long book.
No, it's not. It's a short one. I'm gonna have room on my shelves for these. Great. That's fantastic. Moving on to the next one.
I forgot to hit the calculate button last time, so
Oh,
I didn't
that's
actually
okay.
get the correct number.
Ooh, Tristram Shandy by Lawrence Stern.
Now that's one I don't know about.
I don't know this one.
What is
wait. Oh, it has that great book smell.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that like kind of musty one.
Like the classic book smell.
Yes.
What is Tristram?
Okay, so Abs. Oh, we do have page 174 in here. So let's get to 174, and then Abs wants page 69 because yes. All right, so 174 is the first sentence is: the moment my father got up into his chamber, he threw himself prostrate across his bed in the wildest disorder imaginable, but at the same time in the most lamentable attitude of a man borne down with sorrows that ever the eye of pity dropped a tear for. Okay.
So I looked it up.
Yep.
It is the actual title is The Life and Opinions of Tristram Shandy, Gentleman. And
yes, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a fictional biography of the character published in 9 volumes.
This is...
Wow. I was trying to think of where I heard the name Tristram before, and it's the name of the starting town in Diablo.
Oh,
really?
I wonder if that's related in any way. If there's any references to this book in Diablo.
I don't know. Yeah.
What a connection.
So this is a Signet classic. It's such a nice cover, and it was originally 75 cents.
Oh my
right?
goodness.
First printing October
Hold on a
1962.
second, everyone. I'll be right back.
62.
Okay. Yep, 1962. Hello, Mecca.
Sorry about that.
yeah.
I heard a noise.
That's okay.
But oh my goodness,
probably
what
one of the
happens
book
in this
squids.
book? Oh
Oh.
my goodness.
Let's get to page 69, and then I'll read a bit of the back.
Oh no.
It's the start of volume 2, chapter 1. I have begun a new book on purpose that I might have room enough to explain the nature of the perplexities in which my Uncle Toby was involved, from the many discourses and interrogations about the siege of Namur, where he received his wound. Ooh. So the back says it's an epic of 18th century Yorkshire life, and perhaps the most capriciously written classic of all time. On the surface, this delightfully delirious book has no apparent order. A sentence forms a chapter. Chapters begin or are broken off or even vanish completely, only to reappear in unnumerical sequence later on.
Stream of consciousness.
Love it. When I think of epic, I think
There
Yorkshire.
is
Rokas.
I looked this up and there is an event that happens in the book. Oh my goodness.
It is written
no.
like, look at that. I mean, there's no.
It's written like video game audio logs. Sounds like.
There's just. That's the text.
Well, apparently the
Wow.
author was inspired by Don Quixote.
Yeah, it says that on the back. It
Yeah.
says droll humor in the vein of Rebellus and Cervantes. Rokas says, when I think of epic, I think Yorkshire in the 1700s.
I'm sorry, I can't get this one thing that happens in the book out of my mind now.
What is it? What is it?
I'll not say it out loud, but I will share it with the rest of you. Oh no. Just hold on one moment.
I don't think I've read a real good stream of consciousness book yet.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh no.
Oh, that's
no.
painful. Oh my god.
Oh.
Hard cringe. Ooh.
And your audience will never know what we learned.
Unless you read it. Because when you read it, you'll know what scene this is.
You'll know.
Oh, I can't, like, I can cringe and wince in sympathy because I would never have that experience.
Since it's horrifying, should I be the one to read it?
I mean, maybe.
Are we allowed
Abs
to
looked
read
it
this
up.
sort of thing?
Abs
Are we allowed
must...
to say this thing on this sort of stream?
You know what? Fine. Okay, so Matsu wrote, apparently in the book, it says, finally, as a toddler, Tristram suffered an accidental circumcision when Susanna let a window sash fall as he urinated out of the window because his chamber pot was missing.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my god. I wonder how
This out of a humorous book.
I mean,
it is funny when you think about it, but like only if you have no empathy.
that's not what I think. It sucks to be that guy. Kintrin's dead. I can empathize, I guess, but I don't know. Okay, next book. Here we go. Cannery Row, Steinbeck.
Ooh, I was just thinking about this book a few days ago.
I've never read it.
Yes, I kind of want to read it. It sounds interesting. I want to get a copy of this book, honestly.
Now I have one.
It's very kind of slice of life-ish.
Really?
Just set in this small town, Cannery Row, as these individuals go through their lives, and you meet all these little different characters.
Okay.
I was looking it up because I happened to read about the movie version, and then I was like, I kind of want to read this book.
Hi, Tibbs.
Yeah, Rokas has read this one.
Rokas says, I've read this one, it's neat, and Tibbs comes in. I'm here trying to have a nice, relaxing night, and here Sophia comes in with accidental circumcisions. It's not me, it's the book.
If you're not prepared for off-the-wall stuff like that in Sophia's streams, I don't know what to tell you.
Abs's keyboard has a typewriter mode, apparently.
Oh.
We don't see it over here.
No,
she just got a new one, yeah.
Oh.
But this book, I kind of really want to read it. It sounds interesting.
Is it kind of a tender and bawdy fable of some gaily disreputable voiders of work, drunks, fancy ladies, benign bums, and social outcast philosophers.
Yeah, basically. It's about
Interesting.
it's about this little well, the Cannery Row isn't exactly the nicest place, and it's about
Right.
the people who live there. And it's I mean there is some drama, but it's like it's not like oh my goodness, melodrama sort of thing. It's very
Right.
again, it's slice of life. It's what happens. And
Honestly, the framework of it sounds like one of those anthological,
Hmm.
anime miniseries or something like
Because
that,
and
where you
it had a sequel.
oh
it
yeah, is it
did.
Tortilla Flats?
Is that I can't remember. Now you're gonna have me looking it up.
Oh, it. You know what I'm thinking? If it's slice of life, it reminds me of Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell,
Hmm.
where it
Sweet
follows like the ladies of the town.
Sweet Thursday was a sequel
Oh, okay.
set after the war.
Oh, okay. Um, this one I can't read on stream because it's too recent,
Yeah,
unfortunately. But
yeah.
well, I think I'm gonna be. I mean, there's so many small books here. I could go through them all myself. Okay, here's the next one. I'm not even looking in the box. I'm just pulling them down. Ooh, Walden 2
What?
by B.F. Skinner. I've never heard of this. A controversial novel of morality and immorality in a scientifically shaped utopia.
Walden 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Is that what it's called?
No.
No.
Oh, what
No.
the hell, Matsu? I've never heard of this.
Is it a science fiction book?
It says, I don't know. It says,
This
uh,
is
this fictional outline of a modern utopia has been a center of raging controversy ever since its publication in 1948. Set in the United States, it provocatively pictures a society in which human problems are solved by a scientific technology of human conduct, and in which many of our contemporary values are obsolete.
Yeah,
Almost sounds like a satire.
Hmm.
I'm looking this up as we go along.
Neighbor's dog is barking.
I guess it was really controversial when it came out.
is
Hmm.
it still controversial now?
Oh,
It's
my dog's barking.
well, it is controversial because it's all about the rejection of free will completely. The idea that there's
Oh,
and all that,
I
Oh.
can see why people would have a problem with
and
that.
people can be like mentally controlled and shaped.
Oh, for
So
something like that to come out in 48, yeah, that is going to cause a big stir.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, let's be real. A grand utopia is kind of antithetical to personal freedom.
Yeah.
It is. Mhm.
You sacrifice peace and safety by paying your own freedoms as currency.
I wish you
It's
could.
a society writ large, just taken
Yeah.
to its most extreme.
I wish you could see my face right now as you went into that philosophical discussion. I'm just kind of like,
Ooh,
huh?
Ricky on
ooh.
free will is not overrated.
I'd be
Okay.
curious to join a hive mind. That's all I'd say.
The board.
Eh, maybe.
Kidnapped is next by
Ooh,
Robert Louis
Ooh.
ooh!
Stevenson.
I just got a copy of that book recently, thanks to Kintron.
Nice.
Ooh, I think
Kidnapped. I've
I
not
think I
read
need
it.
to read that for a stream. It was. I think I mentioned in my Treasure Island stream. It Poor Robert Louis Stevenson. Oh my
What?
goodness. When Kidnap came out, essentially almost all the reviews were it's not Treasure Island.
Oh my god,
Oh.
that's
And
terrible.
he just was he it came out right after Treasure Island, so he had to, you know, it's that old thing. When you do a
Yeah.
real successful
Well, I
bit of
know
media and you have to try and follow it up with something just as successful.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
re
Recently, Kishimoto had that problem after Naruto. He tried making a sci-fi manga called Samurai 8, and it just
yeah.
This
did not
isn't
go well.
Naruto.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Well, that's like
God.
S.E. Hinton who did The Outsiders. She struggled for a while after writing that to come out with her next book because The Outsiders was so huge. Like how
Mhm.
she had worried about her sophomore novel like not living up to that.
Hmm. Yeah.
God, the problem with popular novels.
But
Yeah.
Kidnap's okay from what I understand. It's not bad. It's just not Treasure Island.
Oh my god, Matsu.
Well, no. I'm just saying that's what it is. I mean, if you go into it trying to think it's going to be a big Treasure Island like adventure, it really isn't.
No, I mean the back. Ricky, on the sad fate of writing a masterpiece, everyone expects everything after to be one. That's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, if you have an interest in the whole Jacobite revolution and all that, it's a fantastic novel. If you
Mm.
don't, it's
Yeah.
what
Rickyon's never heard of Treasure Island, have you?
what
Wait,
what?
huh?
Huh?
Okay. As a reminder, Rickian's a
What?
personal friend of mine. Rickian lives on an island and did not have stable internet for most of his life.
Okay,
Oh,
fair.
Are you saying you don't live on Treasure Island, Rickion?
Again, I did a stream of Treasure Island where I read the entire book.
Yeah, now you can watch the VOD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a very good read. I would highly
It's on
recommend it.
Matsu's YouTube, I think, right?
I'm sorry to bring that up, Sophia. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's
I
fine.
don't mean to advertise.
No! Oh my god, you guys, please. You can advertise on here. Jesus. You're
Okay.
here. I don't mind.
Well,
Yes,
I
you
just
can.
know some. I just know some people don't. But
No, I don't
kidnap,
care.
yeah.
Yeah.
Today's stream brought to you by. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Next book is Roderick Random by
What?
Tobias Smollett.
What?
Roderick
Signet
Random.
classic, but
What? It's a classic?
apparently
What?
it is for sheer narrative pleasure and exuberant inventiveness that we read Smollett, master of the picaresque. Of his novels,
What?
of his novels, none better typifies his art than this chronicle of the career of Roderick Random, pursuing love and fortune through every conceivable twist and turn of fate. Before this indomitable protagonist achieves his final vindication, the reader is offered an unforgettable journey through a lusty, brawling Hogarthian world, in a work that stands as the very embodiment of that age's unflagging energy and boundless appetite for life. In the words of John Barth, sailors, soldiers, fine gentlemen and ladies, whores, homosexuals, card sharpers, fortune hunters, tradesmen of all descriptions, clerics, fops, scholars, lunatics, highwaymen, crowd a stage that extends from Glasgow to Guinea, from Paris to Paraguay, and among themselves perpetrate battles, debaucheries, swindles, Shanghai's, duels, seductions, rescues, pranks, poems, shipwrecks, heroisms, murders, and marriages. They will guffaw,
could-
curse, and something I can't read.
You can
Love
take
and
a breast now, Sophia.
no.
Wow.
Love and foul their breaches. In short, and then there's a sticker here. I need to read this.
Wow.
Whoa.
In short, they live.
This is another book that was inspired by Don Quixote.
Really? Oh,
Almost
interesting.
certainly.
I
Another
could
one.
tell just from the summary.
Yeah, this is one of those. I think that was all the rage back in the 1700s was just writing these huge novels that just,
Yeah, it sounds like it might have a different
huge
vibe, though.
rambling novels.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like a very different vibe from Don Quixote.
Yeah, that is one hell of a summary, Ricky. On that's the cover is. Oh, I see the cover. It's a dude holding a rose in like the. It's a Signet classic, so of course it's a great cover. But wow, oh my god, the contents have. This is cool. The contents. Look at the chapter titles.
What are the chapter titles here?
Look at them on the screen.
Wow. They're entire paragraphs.
Chapter 1 of my birth and parentage. Chapter 2. Hello, cool skeleton. Chapter 2.
Oh,
I
cool.
grow up.
Skeleton.
Am hated by my relations, sent to school, neglected by my grandfather, maltreated by my master, seasoned to adversity. I form cabals against the pedant, am debarred access to my grandfather, hunted by his heir. I demolish the teeth of his tutor.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, back in the day,
Isekai light novel titles
Yeah,
here.
right?
That's what chapters used to be like back then. If it didn't summarize the whole chapter in one go, it's not a chapter title.
For real.
That's light novel titles for you.
Man.
Is this
I mean-
when was this published?
I think I recently heard. I don't remember where.
He was random written. It was published anonymously in 1748.
We know who the author is actually.
Yeah, Tobias Smollett.
Yeah. Why do you say post anonymously? Oh my goodness, I'm
Published
stupid
not,
right
yeah.
now.
It was followed by Peregrine Pickle, Ferdinand
What?
Count Fathom, Sir
Huh?
Launcelot Greaves, The History and Adventures of an Atom, and Humphrey Clinker.
Those all sound like Don Quixote.
Yeah, they all sound like.
Oh my god! The last. He died in 1771 at the age of 50. He died of asthma and tuberculosis. He was buried at Leghorn by his wife, who, friendless and destitute, herself died not many years after. What the hell?
This is a
Wow.
cheerful.
So wonderful. Oh my god, I'm gonna move that up my list because I want to read that.
I'll say this sounds
no.
ludicrous.
It
Like, in
does.
all the ways possible.
I love it.
Holy
This
crap.
is
everything but the kitchen sink.
it really is. I thought I was gonna know every book in here. I do not.
We are learning.
We are. This is great. The table of
My
contents
brain
is a
is running
chapter of its
on
own.
tangents right now.
Oh, Merchant of Venice.
Of course.
Shakespeare. We've got to have Shakespeare in here, of course.
Shakespeare. Who doesn't love Shakespeare?
Did I read this one? I'm pretty sure I did.
Oh,
I actually have not read
called?
The Merchant of Venice yet.
Wait, really? Huh.
Wait, is
Yes,
this
I
the
have
one
not.
with the pound of flesh?
Yes, it is.
Yes, then I read
Oh,
this
it's-
one.
I have
one
a
of-
hard time.
It's
parsing
a
Shakespeare's writing.
problem play.
Oh, it's very
Oh, yes,
problematic.
very
it's
much
a
so.
problematic play.
Never mind. We did read this in my Shakespeare class in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad. It's not a bad play.
It's not bad,
It's-
but you've
it's
never
got-
heard of this?
Yeah, it's got
Uh,
issues.
This
so
one,
does everyone know
yeah.
know why it wouldn't be a good play today?
Well, I mean,
Oh,
it has very, very problematic representation of Jews.
Yes. Yes.
Very problematic.
Is it going into spoilers? Do we care about spoilers about
It's
Shakespeare?
Shakespeare. How are you
Shakespeare.
gonna spoil it?
Good point. But like the resolution is, oh, you don't get your pound of flesh, but we're going to force you to convert to Christianity, so that's gonna like resolve everything.
Yeah.
Yay.
You are forced to abandon your faith, and that
Yeah.
is the solution to everyone's problems.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a contemporary play at the time it was written, which was also of a similar nature, and it is worse
Oh damn.
than this in representation. Just absolutely worse.
I just have a really hard time parsing Shakespeare's writing.
It
Like,
can.
it's just
Yeah.
like I'm one of those people that like if someone like modernized this first, I might be able to read it, but like I don't know.
Shakespeare's
Yeah.
writing is, well, after multiple readings, you can kind of get what he's saying. I mean, he invented a lot of phrases
did.
that are even used today,
He
so it's
is a
not
wordsmith.
impossible. It's not impossible to read, but you kind of have to look at it.
You have to learn his language.
You really
Yeah.
do.
A
Yeah.
little bit,
You
yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
And contrary to what some people think, people did not talk like that back then.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was very much a theatrical
Yeah.
way of talking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
no
he
one
wrote
had-
this for the popular, the public.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Which people,
Yeah.
it's so funny because we're studying it today as this high class literature, and it's like this was
It's
written
high- oh,
to entertain the public.
Please don't get me started on theater history. I will go on for
Oh, I
hours.
know this is the wrong thing
Theater
to
of
pull up.
Shakespeare. Yeah, because I there is an interesting history behind why Shakespeare is now considered high class rather than what it used to be.
Rickion says Shakespeare was the first mid-tier fanfic writer.
At least in the United States, it all started with a riot, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will say I appreciate there's a more recent Doctor Who episode where they go back and see Shakespeare, and I
Oh,
appreciate
that
what they
Yes.
I
Yes.
appreciate
That
what
was a
they
good
did
one.
there.
That was a good one. That was a
They're
good
like,
one.
oh, he's such a master of the written word and language, and then he gets up on stage like, oh, shut your big fat mouths.
That's about right.
Ah,
That's
yeah.
about
It's
right.
great.
Yeah.
I remember that. I loved it. I was like, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Next.
just- yeah.
This is a bigger book.
Ooh.
Oh, big
Ooh,
book.
the
Ooh, finally a
Mentor
big
book. The Mentor book of major American poets.
Ooh.
Blah. I'm not making way smaller. Get out of here.
I don't know if you can, unless I'm individually placed.
You're
I don't know
not.
if you can.
Here,
Yeah,
I'll.
yeah, I'm in
Bigger.
the group.
I'll
Just make it bigger.
let's see. I can make everyone bigger.
Make him fill the screen.
Here we go. Meow.
Make my monster grow.
I just dragged you guys off screen.
There we go.
There, now everyone's a little bit bigger. Tiny waists. No. Okay. So
I'm just looking at us down there. I'm like, to scale.
it's a
is
compact
accurate.
anthology of 3 centuries of poetry.
Ooh, nice.
That's pretty neat.
nice.
Is
has-
it the mentor book of Major?
Yeah. I don't know why it's called the Mentor.
Maybe like a
The first
specific
one we're getting? Yeah.
selection.
Yeah.
Let's see. It has from Edward Taylor and Walt Whitman to Hart Crane and W.H. Auden. So it has Edward Taylor, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Edgar Allan Poe, Walt Whitman, Emily Dickinson, Edwin Arlington Robinson, Stephen Crane, okay, Red Badge occurred, Robert Frost, Vachel Lindsay, never heard of him, Wallace Stevens, William Carlos Williams, Ezra Pound, Marianne Moore, John Crow Ransom, Edna St. Vincent Millay, Archibald McLeish, E. Cummings, Hart Crane, and W.H. Auden.
I have to
It
say,
sounds-
I'm not big into poetry, but props to Poe for like actually making me remember some of his stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
his poetry, though, I have trauma from his poetry.
Oh
So-
yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not even for the reason everybody else does. Let me tell you about this. When I got my master's degree in literature, I had to take there's a couple different courses that I could take. And one of them was Poe. So I was thrilled because I love Poe. I was not thrilled when I found out that my professor was a Poe scholar, which means like that's the focus of his life's work. And it also meant that he would accept no interpretation of Poe other than his own.
Oh.
Oh no,
Oh.
yeah.
But the worst part of it was we read primarily his poetry. We didn't really do his, stories. We read the poetry, and it was such, if you've read his poetry, you'll know that half of them share a very similar title.
Yes.
They're like only off by like a letter or a dash. And we had to match it was so stupid. I'm like, what? Am I in first grade? We had to match a stanza with the correct title.
Or seriously?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
no.
And so many of them are so similar that it's like I couldn't differentiate between them because it's like one of them is like 2mh and the other one is like
Oh.
2mh dash period. Like it's ridiculous. And when we studied him in class, every time Sophia wants to take this class nevermore. Hello, Extakision, welcome.
I'm just fascinated by like maybe not at the time I read it, but like eventually I thought about the Raven, and I'm just like,
yeah.
wow, it's
Oh.
super fascinating how like it's about the guy being so defeatist that he just keeps, even though he knows the Raven will always say the same thing,
That's
he keeps asking
exactly
it the
it.
wrong
Mhm.
question.
I love that one because of that.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. I love it.
It's like he could have asked it anything,
Yeah.
but he chooses the question.
Will I die? Nevermore. Great, fantastic. But he gets worse as it goes. Blebla would like page 69. Okay,
I think that's going to be a popular number today.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
but, I need to step away for a quick second. I'll be right back.
Yep.
But I'll be listening.
69. The first full sentence is, and a verse of a Lapland song is haunting my memory still. A boy's will is the wind's will, and the thoughts of youth are long, long thoughts.
I like that.
I do too. He clearly
And I
should have
mean-
asked the Raven if it knew how many licks it takes to get to the center of a lollipop. Hi, Zen.
Nevermore.
Nevermore.
Nevermore. I think I'm
Nevermore.
gonna add this one to my stack here for when people do poetry redeems.
Oh,
That's
That would be a perfect one to have.
Yeah, because almost
yeah.
everything in here except for maybe some of the Auden is public domain.
mm.
And hopefully you're not gonna open up randomly and be like, oh, this one's gonna be 5 pages of a poem.
Oh
So
no, I
Oh,
search.
yeah.
I search. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I opened right to Stopping by Woods on a snowy evening.
Oh,
Ooh.
ooh.
I need to read more of Poe's poetry. Maybe I'll do that on stream. at
Yeah,
some point.
oh, so that's the other thing. When we were learning in class, he was like, stars represent death. In everything he's written, stars always represent death. So we're like, great. So when we get to our midterm and he's like, analyze this poem. Now we hadn't read it yet in class. It was just one we had to discuss for the thing. And I was like, all right, this is great. It has stars in it. It's death. No, according to him, that's the one poem where stars do not represent death.
Oh, wonderful.
You've got to be freaking kidding.
Oh, I hated him so much. I was like,
I hate him by proxy.
Let me show you. Actually, let me pull this out. So I took the class with one of my friends, and we sat next to each other and took so many. I filled 8 pages of a notebook every class, and it was still not enough to cover it because he talked so fast and he demanded we write everything he said down. So we would.
God.
Everyone compliment my new mat. Yes, my new mat is beautiful. So let me show you. This is the book we used for class. These are my notes. Wait. From the poems.
Whoa.
Wow.
Like,
Whoa.
just nonstop. Like, that wasn't even, this was just in the book. That's not even the notebook itself that I had 4 notes for it. I don't know where I put that. I have it somewhere still. But yeah, there's so much that we talk. Like, look at this one. It's just completely. Let me see if it focuses on the light. I don't think it will. But the whole thing, there it is, all the way to the bottom and everything. It's just pure notes.
Oh.
How did you have a class textbook with an arm's reach? Don't ask. Actually, no. The reason I have this one here is because it's a very good anthology of Poe. It's all of everything he's written. So
A complete works.
it's the complete works of Poe. So, no, poetry, tale, and selected essays. So it's not quite the complete one. I have the full Divine Comedy right here too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's John Ciardi. He's my favorite translator for it. And it's a stunning
I'm
one.
not sure if that's the version I have.
Yeah, every book is a class textbook. This is true. This is the version I have. I found it and I was like, yes, look at this beauty.
Rickian says literally all I know about Poe is the Raven.
It's great,
if there was one thing about Edgar Allan Poe for you to remember, it's the Raven.
The Raven.
Like that's a good
Yeah.
one. That's a good one to know
Yeah.
if you need to know what Poe is.
Poe,
Yes.
I say the Raven, Lenore is another good one.
Yeah.
Short stories, there's some fantastic ones.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're fun to read out loud.
He's the one that wrote the Cask of Amontillado, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and
of
the
my
Telltale
favorites.
Heart.
Yep.
Yes. I did a reading of the Telltale Heart once, and it was so much fun to go insane on it.
Comedy
A
and
Black
tragedy.
Cat.
That one.
I think that was the one I actually kind of went overboard in.
I want to read Divine Comedy ever since someone described it as an isekai. Yes,
It is.
Divine Comedy
is.
is an isekai. It's also the biggest, biggest work of fan fiction ever.
It's a revenge fanfic.
It's ridiculous.
It's a revenge Bible fanfiction.
It really is. It's hilarious. He's
so
like,
This guy crossed me. I'm gonna send him to hell.
you literally, it's so great. Oh my god. And then he's all like, I have to go through hell, but I'm gonna take my favorite poet with me. Here we go.
Yeah.
Next one is Humphrey Clinker by Tobias Smollett. So we have Smollett back again.
Smollett again.
With a sharp sensitivity of a man without skin, Tobias Smollett humorously attacked the frivolity and foibles of 18th century England. Humphrey Clinker is his mirthful tale of a tour by coach and four through cities and countryside. 5 people embark on the journey: the crusty eccentric, Squire Bramble, his husband hunting sister Tabitha, her maid Winifred, and Bramble's youthful niece and nephew Lydia and Jerry. En route, they are joined by Humphrey Clinker, an honest Wiltshire lad of tattered cloth and empty purse. As misadventures follow misadventure, each character reveals his true self by giving his own conflicting view of the incidents, places, and people encountered along the way. The result is an entertaining and realistic picture of that wonderful age when gentlemen dueled, ladies swooned, and servants rose from rags to riches.
Sorry, the words crusty eccentric.
I
got
know,
me.
I love it.
It's apparently written in a, what is the word? Epistolary
Epistolary,
format.
yeah.
Epistolary
I love
format. So
epistolaries.
it's
Yep,
yeah, it sounds interesting.
it's letters.
What
Yeah.
a block of text!
Oh my
that
god,
is.
look at that giant block of text. Just a
Oh
wall.
god, that I don't have a reading disability, but that gives me one.
Oh no, it's ugh.
Oh, what? Oh,
Those
right
are
into the middle of the
Those
frickin'
are
book. Good
supposed to
lord.
be letters. Imagine getting that kind of letter in the mail.
Oh my god, I'd be like, no. I don't think
No.
we have much more to say than that to that one because we got another
Yeah.
Smollett
Yeah.
book.
What
I literally haven't even gotten through the first layer, guys.
Oh, god.
No.
Oh, here's a
We're
really
gonna-
big book. Okay.
Okay.
Irving Stone, The Agony and the Ecstasy.
Oh,
I've heard of this, but I've never
I've
read it.
heard of it. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Virgil Senpai, I'm your
Oh,
biggest
wait,
fan. Notice me,
Wait,
please.
wait. I wonder, is that thing that? Of course, I can't spell.
The bestseller about Michelangelo.
Oh, that's the one the movie was based off of.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was. There was a movie based off this book.
Yeah, biographical novel of
Good
Michelangelo.
movie.
Yeah. There was a movie, 1965.
Wow, so just 4 years
okay.
after it came out.
Yep. No,
Wow.
it was a very
Pretty quick
popular
turnaround.
book. Yeah, it was a very popular book.
Hmm.
And it's all about the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah.
The painting on the ceiling and all that.
Ah.
Interesting. It's reading on the back and it's all about it.
Michelangelo has gross stinky pants. Thanks, Zen.
Well, he was kind of if you know anything about the actual Michelangelo, he was a very, very antisocial person.
Oh yeah.
Incredibly antisocial. Hated
According
painting.
according to this, he had many loves.
He hated painting, that's for sure.
What? Then why would he paint?
Because he was kind of forced into this situation.
Actually, yeah.
He was a
re-
sculptor by trade, not a painter.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Also, I'd imagine if you had to spend so many of your days just on your back painting a ceiling.
I was gonna say
like,
upside down, basically.
Yeah.
The Pope
I would be
blackmailed
pretty
him.
pissed too.
Yeah. Zen is right. The Pope basically blackmailed him into doing it.
Abs, it does not sound like a skill issue. Have you seen Michelangelo's sculpting?
And he returned the favor by painting the Pope as a demon in one of the Sistine Chapel
That's
paintings.
brilliant.
Yeah,
That's why he drew all those penises on the ceiling.
kinda.
Oh, you're gonna make me
Covered.
do this? Nudity all over.
He was not. Yeah, he was not.
That reminds me of my favorite. I have a couple sculptures I love, and two of them are of Satan.
But we're not doing it for history, and we're not doing it for the sake of art. No, we're doing it because we like painting naked people.
Well, the two statues of Lucifer, sculpted by
Yeah.
brothers.
Yeah. The first one was too hot.
Too
so they
hot.
Went to the other brother,
Yeah.
and then he made him even sexier.
They did. It's so great. He made him sexier and brooding, which made it worse. And it's like, well, which one do you want, Church? You're gonna diss my brother. I'm gonna give you an even better one. But it's just hilarious because if you read it, Lucifer was the most beloved of the angels and the most beautiful.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to have him look like that.
If evil, why hot?
I love the story. This is not a
Instead, you
tangent, but
wanted
it's kind of related to
Lucifer,
it. I love the
Satan.
story, the theory that the reason that John Milton's Satan in Paradise Lost it's a theory, is so, how he is
Yeah.
because John Milton was nearly blind at the time. and so he had his daughters write the book for him, write it down,
Yeah,
and they might have slightly
there
They
so
embellished
his
some things.
there
yes.
is there's a lot of actually scholarly discussion about whether or not he actually wrote most of that, or if it was just the daughters going, "Okay, yeah, sure, Dad," and then like writing their own story. Where do
Okay,
you
sure,
think the
Dad.
He would
sin
never
lust came from?
know.
That's true. He wouldn't know.
No, he
Where
wouldn't know.
where do you think the sin lust came from? That's true. Next one, Steinbeck, The Red Pony.
Oh.
Haven't read this one.
Only thing I know about that is I constantly hear the music from the movie version. Constantly.
I have not seen the movie either.
I have not either. I've just heard the music.
The
Gotta
Red
read it.
Pony.
Yeah, another
Steinbeck
Steinbeck.
Steinbeck's is a pretty good author.
See, I
Is
was
he very
forced.
prolific?
Yes,
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I have a copy of The Pearl, which he wrote, which
Most of his
was
books are shorter,
yeah.
except for the Grapes of Wrath, and I was forced to read Grapes of Wrath
Oh,
in
Oh.
school. And the problem is the teacher that I had, there is one interpretation of a book, and that is
oh
it.
no, again.
Yes,
Oh,
so I hated it.
I always find it interesting how, no offense, Sophia, no offense. It always seems like you get these great authors, and then the literary teachers always choose their most dire and most grim books out of their
Yeah,
series.
Zen, that's gross. Ugh. Hello, Recon. Hi, Recon. No, and that's it frustrated me as a student, and that's why I became the teacher I am. That I don't tell my students there's one interpretation of a book, because everyone's personal. Like, yes, the author might have intended some things,
Hmm.
but
Mhm.
sometimes a curtain is a curtain.
Yes.
It doesn't have
Yeah.
any significance to it. Um, and sometimes it does. But also, your own personal experiences in life are going to shape how you view the world around you, and that includes literature.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And it's interesting because
Yes.
I find like authorial intent very interesting.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that that's the only way to read a book. That's just the
Right.
way I like
Oh
to
yeah,
read things. Is
absolutely.
like with context.
Yeah.
Like who wrote this, when did they write it, and why.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a lot of manga as well, like it's like okay, like if you analyze this manga from a Christian perspective, this is really messed up. But
Right.
if you analyze it from a Buddhist perspective, it's very different.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where being a manga person has kind of made me like come to that angle of wanting to approach books like what is the author's context for
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
piece of media,
That's
because I find
absolutely
it
true.
fascinating.
I would
I
like
was
to have you as my
fortunate
high school
enough.
teacher.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just reading what Recon said. I would like to have you as my high school teacher for literature because you're friends, right? I mean, I'm friendly, yes, and
Yeah.
unless my student tells me stopping by wood on us, I use this as an example all the time. If I said you're not wrong in what you say if you can provide details for why, like, and back up your with evidence for why you say it. However, if you
Provide your
tell
reason.
yeah, exactly. If you tell me stopping by woods on a snowy evening is about a fun day at the beach, you're wrong. That's just wrong. Like, but other than that, I mean, finally remember reading a book and a teacher insisted his stance was the right one and I purposely kept the opposite stance. Ricky, I love that. Be
Yeah,
defiant.
Rickian's very contrarian.
Something I wrote in my lore about being born under an elder tree. It had meaning and purpose, but I don't say why. Oh.
Mm.
I was fortunate enough in my high school English classes to have a teacher who wasn't so staunch in their interpretations of the literature and
Yeah.
was enthusiastic about like getting people's like input on what they thought of the stories. Now, unfortunately, was I the best student and did I read the content back then? No, I was more concerned about my GameCube. But
Aw.
I know I was a terrible student. Well, not a terrible student, but I was not the best student.
Yeah.
But
I had
as
I had a different problem.
I do look back on that English class, and it did give me an appreciation for a lot of the books that I am now trying to read in earnest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to my English teacher, Mr. Watson, thank you for everything you did for me. You were awesome.
My
Yeah.
I remember 7th grade, my English teacher, we read this is one of the things I absolutely loved about school, and specifically 7th grade English class, or reading class, I should say, because it was separated by reading and writing. We read The Lady or the Tiger and had
Yeah.
the best debate ever. She split the room and said, if you think it's the lady, go over here. If you think it's the tiger, go here. And we had to debate, and we were allowed to switch sides if we felt it. And I was adamant that it was the lady.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, we did a similar thing
yeah,
in my class. That was one of the stories we read.
yeah, I
I
loved
had
that.
this problem with English class growing up, where I'm one of those very literal autists.
Yeah.
So I didn't figure out how symbolism worked until I want to say 5 to 10 video essays on Evangelion somewhere in my late 20s.
I love it.
That's fair.
So when I went to high school English class, it's like, interpret this poem or this story. I'm like, do you want me to just copy down the story word for word? Like, what do you want from me? The words are there. What's there to interpret?
uh,
The author's telling
this-
it. What do I have
I
to tell?
know.
Yeah,
Abs, my
it's
mat
like,
is on the side. I got a new one.
what does this poet mean when he says this about the season of autumn? He says, well, the season of autumn has red leaves.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Very,
It's
very
red
literal.
because the chlorophyll is gone.
I felt like the fact that I moved schools in like middle school and early high school caused me to somehow magically miss 1 to 3 years of English education, just because it suddenly felt like in my sophomore year of high school that I didn't know what I was doing
Yeah.
anymore.
Rickion got
Yeah,
But
symbolism thanks to Courage the
apparently
Cowardly
it's
Dog.
just supposed to be intuitive.
I mean, yeah. Next one, Shakespeare, Twelfth Night.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
a good play.
That is a good one.
That's
One
a
of my
great play.
favorites of his comedies.
It's fun.
Ooh, I think it's modernized. Yes. Oh wait, no, maybe not.
Oh,
No, it's not.
it's a fun play.
It's a lot of. I always wanted, like, because we did readings in my Shakespeare class. I always tried to be festy. I
Yeah.
always tried to be the clown
Mm.
because he is so much fun. I loved his like outsider perspective on everything.
Some
Which
are
I know.
born. Sorry.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was about to say, I love how Shakespeare usually makes like the clowns or the fools like the commentators on a lot of his work. And so I really appreciated that look into the events of Twelfth Night and everything that was going on.
Yeah.
And it always felt so witty. I always enjoyed feeling like a snarky wit when reading those parts.
Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where that
That
quote's
scene,
from.
yeah, it's a great scene. It's a great scene in the play. Oh my goodness.
It's
world
become
must
just
be people.
For
it's,
those,
it's
do you
yeah.
want
Sorry,
to
go ahead.
mention what it is? So there's this one guy who essentially nobody likes, but he's really in love with one of the characters,
Yeah.
and the rest convince him to wear these hideous yellow stockings because it'll apparently. I'm sorry to laugh at this because I think it's so funny. They, because he thinks it's going to attract this woman, but she really hates them. And he in the play, the stage directions have him strut on stage and show off these stockings, and she just recoils at
I
this
mean,
thing. It's
Yeah.
just hilarious. And he says that quote. It's just the funniest thing.
Oh my gosh.
uh,
I love the back and forth of the two lead like romantic interest partners, and everyone's trying to set them up together
yeah.
because it's that love-hate relationship at the offset. And the characters like musings and like trying to like logic their way into like, well, maybe I don't like them, but I mean the world needs kids, so I guess I'm doing my duty if I, have this wife and stuff like that. It's wonderful.
The world needs kids.
The world must be people. That was the line that he
Yes,
says.
yes.
Oh,
Antonio
no.
played Kintran played Antonio before.
Oh, neat.
Ooh.
That's cool. I was in Hamlet, and I played. Who was I? I don't remember who I was, but it was for a class. We only did a brief one. Ooh, I've been wanting to read this actually, and it's a Bantam classic. The
Ooh.
Jungle by Upton
Ooh.
Sinclair. I almost
Oh,
bought a
yeah,
copy the other day. Now I don't have to.
Upton Sinclair was always a little salty about this book and what happened with it.
Really?
Yeah, because what it is, Upton Sinclair, The Jungle, he originally wrote it to be essentially showing how bad the
The
lower class were
meatpacking
being
interest.
treated.
Yeah,
Well, the workers were being treated.
right.
The problem was the people who read it were looking at it and were thinking more like, "Oh my god, that's how
Oh,
food is made."
yeah.
So
Okay.
I think he said, and I think he said, and I'm quoting, "I tried to reach their hearts, and instead I reached their stomachs."
Yeah, I can see
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I mean, it still shed light on a very real problem,
Yeah.
which, like, for what it's worth, did have a very positive impact on, like, people's health and the food industry overall. But I can see how, like, the kind of misdirection of, because that's what I know this book for, is its impact on the meatpacking industry and
Yeah,
everything like
same.
I would never have guessed that its more specific focus was trying to be on the workers and their conditions
The
there.
same.
But
I wouldn't have either. Oh my god, it's in such good condition.
Ooh.
I say it looks really sharp.
It really
Yeah.
does. I'm like, it's old, but it has a really nice feel to it. Ricky on said, listen, the stomach is easier to reach. You're not wrong.
No.
Yeah,
It's
there's no
true.
rib cage in the way.
Oh my god. Kind of a.
I'm the one who's supposed to say that stuff.
I was never expect Jesus. Yeah, I'm excited because now I can read it. But I always thought it was just about the meatpacking industry. And if you look at Penguin Deluxe Classics has new covers for books, and the one that they have, it's a like cow's head,
Mm-hmm.
like just the meat, or a
Yeah.
hock of beef. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly, but yeah. Oh yeah, it's the injustices of wage slavery.
Yeah, that was his intention.
It says here, Upton Sinclair, master of the muckraking novel, here explores the working man's lot at the turn of the century, the backbreaking labor, the injustices of wage slavery, the bewildering chaos of urban life.
If only
Wow.
people learned from books like this.
I mean, they learned one thing, but they didn't learn all of it.
Anything else? Yeah.
They read up to that point, stopped, and were like, okay, that's the problem that needs
Gross.
fixing.
Yeah, meat is being terrible change.
Book in one hand, hamburger in the other, stops reading,
Yeah.
glances over.
Like, no. Next book, Ripening Seed, Colette. Oh.
Wait,
Ooh.
what?
Sounds like a romance of some kind.
It's the simple story of Daphnis and Chloe brought up to date. It's about
Oh.
two young lovers.
Oh.
The action is concerned with three characters only, Philippe and Vinca, the boy and the girl, and Madame Dalaray, the beautiful woman of the world, who, in teaching the boy that he is a man, gives him the key to happiness, and incidentally the key to Vinca.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh.
Boys have to... Colette's underlying theme in this beautifully developed situation is that where boys have to learn from experience, girls are endowed with instinctive powers of perception and wisdom. Interesting.
Wait,
I've
this
never...
author wrote Gigi?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Huh.
Ooh,
Interesting.
I like the look of the pages.
Right? It's the nice,
Yeah.
dark, aged
Mm-hmm.
book.
Oh,
Got that
well,
smell,
Oh,
too.
like a fine wine.
Yes. It's
that
got the
parchment
smell.
Wow.
look.
You would still
Her
eat Rickion. I would not.
her author really the author did a lot
Yeah.
of things. Yeah, she's amazing. Wow.
Next one. 5 short novels of Stendhal. The
Huh.
book was originally 95 cents. That's wild.
Wow.
It's the Duchess of Paliano, Vittoria Acramboni, the Abbess of Castro, Vanina Vanini, and the Senshi. Kanabo can attest to my iron stomach.
Yep.
Interesting.
I've never heard of this.
Me
No,
either.
I haven't either. I was trying to look it up, and I really have never heard of any of his works.
No.
Nina
Oh.
the Ninny? Is that what Cool Skull said?
The cover is by Edward Gorey,
Oh, it's a gory cover.
which I guess I can kind of see his style a little bit.
Yeah, I have never heard
know.
of a single one of his works.
No.
Huh.
Some of these are, well, I don't think I could read these. No. No, it's translated, so I can't read these.
Yeah.
Well, one of them I probably could because it's 1926. But Nina the Nini, it's the Nina, the Vanini. Oop,
I'm even
Vanina,
more
the
confused now.
Vanini.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know how have anything to say
Yeah.
to that one because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
we
Yeah,
none of us
yeah,
have
it's
any
like-
context.
I just
Hold
want
on.
so we're not going to complete this box this stream. It's not possible.
No.
We'd be here for like
Uh.
6 hours because I'm not even fully past the like. I can't even the top literally.
Yeah.
I can read translated works as long as they were translated before 1927.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about public domain and ownership
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Chekhov plays.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Okay.
plays. Oh,
It's-
oh, yay.
Matsu's
I'm sorry.
smash or pass method. I didn't even think
I-
that. Read,
Alongside
not read.
books, I have a passion for theater, so whenever I see plays, I get
Yeah.
excited. What do we got? What do we
So
got?
we've got
What do we got?
Ivanov, the Cherry Orchard, the Seagull, Uncle Vanya, and the Three Sisters.
Oh, they're all good ones.
I've never read
They're all good.
Chekhov, to be honest.
Oh, they're good.
Hmm.
Sure is good.
Oh, duh. The reason I know this is because of the trope, Chekhov's gun.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yes. He came up with that idea.
is it which?
The trope being if you have a rifle hung up on a wall on the stage of a play, you had better use it in the third act.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. If you have
okay.
something
Yeah.
obvious that would seem obviously used, you're going to use it.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
Okay.
You don't just
And
put it.
it's a term thrown out there in both theater, it's in film as well, like in terms of setup and payoff.
Mhm.
Like if you're
Yeah.
going to draw attention to something, you had better have a reason for drawing attention to it that becomes fulfilled later on in the film or play.
Well, what if
Yeah,
somebody wanted
although-
to subvert that, though?
Exactly, and that's
Yeah.
the thing is once you establish the trope, it is now subvertible.
Okay.
Yes.
But
Yes.
if that did not if you didn't establish that trope yet, then you're not subverting anything
Yeah.
because there's
Yeah.
nothing to
No,
subvert.
the Chekhov's gun part of it is like drawing attention to it to have it pay off later. The subversion of that can be a twist where you purposefully draw attention to something and then,
Ignore it.
like mislead for later on. That's
Oh, okay.
perfectly viable as well.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, 'cause-
Although misleading too much can be a problem in its own right.
yeah,
If
Yeah.
you pull something just out of nowhere, then it's gonna be like, well, that was stupid.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
Mhm.
You have to be careful with that sort of thing.
Rickian, so this is the man that gave everyone a gun. What if I have a rifle hanging, but the rifle is a mimic and eats my fingers? I
But you're
mean,
still paying it
valid,
off.
I
You're still
guess.
paying it off.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean that's still payoff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still payoff. It's not the payoff you would expect, but it's still
It's-
payoff.
The rifle is
That's
still
the best
involved.
way
the
to
twist part of
subvert
it down already.
Yeah, that's the best way to subvert it and twist it up. Is to it still pays off. It doesn't
Okay.
pay off out the way that you think.
This is the only packing material that was in that box.
Ooh.
That's it.
Well, that's paper, and
Just
paper is
one
used in
pile of
films.
paper.
That
Wait,
fits.
who's the author?
This is it, guys. That's it. The rest of that is just pure books.
Wow.
I'll have to do a
crap.
count next time. I just tossed it behind me. Technically, the subversion of Chekhov's gun is red herrings. Oh, that's true.
That is true.
I didn't
Yeah.
think of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, Isaac Bashevis Singer, The Slave.
Huh.
I have not read this.
No, I've never heard of it.
I've
Me
heard of the
either.
author, but Jacob of the town of Josephov leaves a massacre by the Cossacks, is waylaid by robbers and sold as a slave. Learned and pious, the son of rich parents, Jacob, a Jew, finds himself a cowherd toiling among a semi-pagan people. He also finds himself passionately in love with Wanda, his master's daughter, a woman he is forbidden to wed. Through this love, he learns the true meaning of religion and the essential holiness of all spirits.
Mm.
Mm,
Mm.
huh, huh.
Huh?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
The forbidden love thing is one thing, but then the whole it's because it's Jew and Jewish and pagan. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe not. The most brilliant living representative of the Yiddish language in prose, and one of the most important contemporary writers. Almost almost every serious reader of modern literature knows by now, Isaac Bashevis Singer is the greatest contemporary Yiddish writer, perhaps the greatest Yiddish writer of all time. Okay,
Yep.
there's definitely
so
something there.
I
Yeah.
was thinking, oh God, is this going to be another? And he's saved by being converted.
No,
Yeah,
I
like
did. I will admit, I looked ahead. I looked up the plot.
No,
I
that's
can tell.
fine because I would
I
have
can tell
been.
you, no, he isn't.
Oh, good. Okay, so then I
It's
actually will read it.
it's not a happy ending. I'll just say that.
Oh well, yeah.
well, I somehow I feel like the title might have led itself to maybe a less than stellar ending.
Yeah, the cover art is interesting.
Yeah.
Creepy, but interesting.
Hmm.
Whenever I hear about cows in books, I wonder if the author ever met an actual cow. They are adorable. Okay, next one is The Spy by James Fenimore Cooper.
Huh. Oh. Huh. I've got
I
some
feel like I've
Cooper,
heard of
but
this
I've
one.
never read this.
I read The Last of the Mohicans.
Oh, have you ever read Mark Twain's review of
No,
the Cooper's books? Oh
no.
my goodness, you
Does he
have to.
eviscerate him?
Yes.
Oh, I
He
love
points
it.
out I think the best part was when he points out that if New England had a broken stick every few feet, as it seems to do in the Fenimore Cooper books, then it must be a very noisy forest. It's
Oh my God, that's
hilarious.
great. I love Twain.
It's hilarious. It is hilarious.
Oh man,
Uh,
what a
but
sassy guy.
He
yeah,
really is. I'm sorry. He's brilliant. I love it.
I've never read any Cooper's books. I've got Last Mohicans, and actually I have the entire series
Of
in
his
leather bound
works? Oh.
of Cooper. Yeah, I've got a Library of American Literature in
Oh,
leather.
okay. So you should
Ah,
So
have this one.
I'll have to take a look if I do have this one. It might be in one of the books.
It's green. The edges are green.
Ooh, that shows it's old.
It is one of the old ones. I don't. Well, they're getting back to doing colored
Yeah,
pages.
that's true.
hmm.
Oh, The Taming of the Shrew.
Oh,
Hey,
another problematic one.
That is. I love it though. It's so funny
I
though.
know. Well, you can read it multiple interpretations, and there are interpretations on stage.
Bad
Zen
story.
don't
Don't
like
like
it.
it. Yeah, Zen doesn't like it.
Yeah, it's one of those Shakespeare plays, and this is the theater part of me coming out, where it's very dependent on how
It's
the
staged.
performers stage it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it can be done. Although you can also cut out the entire opening and ending of the play because that is weird.
Yeah. Um, Kintran, I'm not going to do 142 of this one because the 142 is a page with just the defining words.
Mm.
It's just like definitions,
Read the
like a
dictionary.
It's just a reference.
whoreson, literally son of a whore, a good for nothing. That's not on that page. That was 144.
Mm.
142, the definition sensible, making sense, felt by the senses.
Who could have guessed?
What is that not common knowledge?
I mean, it's in terms of how he's using it.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's what I assumed sensible meant.
I don't know if everyone would necessarily. It may not know that. I mean, this is one of the this version has the play is only on the right hand side. The left hand side is basically understanding everything.
Oh, that might be a
Uh,
tough read.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know, it does occur to me that I do have a pretty big vocabulary, and I sometimes forget that about myself.
Yeah, that's true. Zen says,
Yeah,
I truly
yeah.
believe that Taming of the Shrew is just the beta version of Much Ado About Nothing. Because the character arcs and the motivations are pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd
yeah,
agree.
yeah. I mean, he was churning these things out
Oh,
quickly. I
yeah, he
mean,
was. I mean, you had
It's,
to be
yeah.
yeah.
relevant.
Some definitely pulled from like what was immediately written before. Like
Yeah.
he was just on a roll with certain.
Oh, the
things.
woman in white.
I know Wilkie Collins, but I haven't read
Oh, I've
this
heard
one.
of this one. Oh, is it? I gotta double check to see if it's the one I think. If it's the one I think it is. Yes, it is the one I think it is.
Secrets,
It was.
mistaken identities, surprise revelations, amnesia, locked rooms, and locked asylums. An unorthodox villain made this mystery thriller an instant success when it first appeared in 1860.
Yeah, it
Ooh.
was huge. It was a huge deal when it came
Oh
out.
no. Look at
I
this.
mean, there was
Oh,
within publication there was three different. Oh my goodness, there were three different theater versions that came out
Really?
one after another. Yes, it was massive success.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to read it.
I need to get more into mystery books. I
Oh
need to
god,
read
there's
it.
water damage in this book.
Oh
Oh, the
Oh,
no!
ending is
crap.
water damage. Oh.
And we'll never know the ending.
I mean, you can read it. It's just the texture of the paper.
Is it
Oh
like
yeah,
all crinkly and everything? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no. It was salvageable, but it's yucky on my hands.
Oh.
The
I
Taming of the
just hope
Shrew.
that's not a thing throughout more books down from there. Like if there is.
Oh no,
any-
that was just separate because there. This was the top. I'm still on the top of the stack.
My gosh.
Well,
Joking.
it just means more streams.
Yeah.
This is definitely book by the foot. We're gonna be doing this every Sunday for like a month. 4 tragedies.
that sounds fun.
I'm fine with that.
All right,
Four
that sounds good then. 4 Saturdays, Romeo and Juliet, or 4 Saturdays, 4 tragedies. Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, Caesar, and Hamlet. The only one I like in
Romeo
here is
and
Hamlet.
Romeo and Juliet is overrated.
It's overrated. I hate it.
Yes.
The Scottish
Uh,
play is not bad. It's okay. It's not historical at all, but it's okay.
no, it is not.
I will admit I like Julius Caesar. I
I'm not
really like it,
surprised.
but only because I really have a love of Roman history
Yeah.
and history in general, so I find it fascinating. And Hamlet, it's okay.
I love Hamlet. It's the basis of so many modern movies, plays, and texts.
It's
And
true.
that people don't understand. It's like Lion King. Yeah, that's literally Hamlet.
Yeah,
It is.
Hamlet is.
It,
It's okay. It's okay.
Hamlet
Rian!
is up there with the Seven Samurai as probably the most remade and recontextualized
Yeah,
pieces of fiction ever.
yeah,
I think the issue I have with Hamlet really is just I read it too many times, and so it kind of
Fair.
felt wearing down. Romeo and Juliet, I really, really do not like, but
yeah.
only
I don't
because
blame you.
only because I feel people get the wrong message out of the play.
Yeah,
But Rikian says,
Shakespeare.
Rikian says, all I got from Romeo and Juliet is that I should make sure the body is dead.
It's about two dumb kids
It's
making
too-
dumb decisions.
And everyone
Oh,
dies
yeah,
because
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
It's Shakespeare pointing at this situation, going, "Look how stupid teenagers are,"
Yeah.
and then everyone else is like, "It's so
not
romantic."
romantic. It's not
It's
romantic.
It made me
True
so
love.
angry because I was like,
They're
she's not
idiots.
dead. Oh, her skin still looks fresh and dewy because she's not dead, you fool.
Bad.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
Yeah, I liked Hamlet. So the film version. So this is fun. When I read
Film
Hamlet
version.
in high school, we watched part of one and then we watched the complete other. The one we watched part of was the Mel Gibson version.
Oh,
I think it was Mel Gibson.
the
Terrible.
Hot from
Yes,
Mom
yes.
version.
Oh, it's terrible. The other one we watched, which is the only one that I know of to this day that takes the complete play and does it, is Kenneth Branagh.
Yes.
Yes.
It is
Yes,
phenomenal.
Yes.
To the
See,
yeah. Oh, to the point where I watched it when it was on VHS. Like that was it. That's all you could get it on in school. And I couldn't find a copy because it was so expensive. And when they released it on DVD, I pre-ordered it
Mm.
because I
Oh my
had to have it.
Oh my goodness, that Rosencrantz Golden Star, that is so good.
Oh, yes it
I
is.
love that thing.
That one's
So good.
fantastic.
That ending is so it's sad and funny at the same time.
It really is.
Yeah, in our Shakespeare class, we watched both versions of that of the interpretation of Hamlet with Mel and
Yeah. Branagh.
We
with Mel
watched when I did
and
that when I sorry.
just to like he showed us the Mel Gibson one basically because of one scene.
That's
which
why
is,
we did it. It was one scene.
Hamlet's famous words
Yeah.
part of it, and it's because my teacher liked the way Mel approached that particular scene, and that was it.
We
And
watched
then,
it for that reason too.
yeah, the remainder.
I call the
was
Mel Gibson one the Hot for Mom film because it is
fantastic.
yeah.
That's terrible.
When I had to watch Shakespeare, we actually didn't watch the Mel Gibson one. We watched two of them. In full, we watched the BBC Shakespeare version, which is Derek Jacobi
Okay. Oh, okay.
as it, and the clip we watched was the Ethan Hawke version,
Oh, that's an interesting one.
and we saw the Polonius speech scene from Ethan Hawke.
That is an interesting version.
Oh my god! I just remembered.
Lorelai!
Hey, Lore.
How are you? Drive safe. Don't text and drive.
Don't stream and drive, kids.
Yes. What is the version of Hamlet where Brian Blessed plays the king's ghost?
Oh my god! Oh wait, that is the.
Is that the Branagh one?
That's a Branagh one.
Brian Blessed, yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't remember. All I remember is Branagh. And wait, is it Kate Winslet that plays Ophelia?
I think so.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so. That reminds me though. We in my English class we also watched a brief clip from The Simpsons from their parody of Hamlet because Lisa Simpson is like, "Hey, hang on, that's not right. No one out crazies Ophelia," and then just immediately goes on a random tirade, jumps out a window.
Yep. I wonder what, but the events are done in reverse. Yeah. Yes, Brian. Yes,
Brian Bless's name is being all caps.
No,
Branagh is just brilliant.
He is.
He's
so good.
phenomenal.
I love his Hamlet the Fifth. Not Hamlet the Fifth. Henry the
I was
Fifth.
like, what? Hamlet the Fifth? There's more?
I got Hamlet on the brain.
Apparently, we all do. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
I will say it was funny too. In the Shakespeare class we had, we of course read the play like in parts, and then we got to the point where who is it? Like Hamlet slays behind the curtain one
Polonius.
of the uncles.
Oh, Polonius, yeah.
He kills Polonius.
And one of the student who was reading for Polonius in that moment just went, "Oh, I am slain," like in the most deadpan read I've ever heard, and the entire class cracked up.
Oh, I would
Granted,
die.
that is accurate for Polonius.
Yeah,
it's true.
That is accurate for Polonius.
Okay, next one. 113. All right, hello, someone up. We'll do 113 on Stendhal, Scarlet and Black. More Stendhal. Yeah.
I have nothing to say on the guy.
I don't either. Okay, page 113. First sentence is.
This sounds familiar, but I don't know where I heard about it. I think it was used as. I think something I read at some point referenced this.
Chapters are short. First sentence is, there were things that Julian had found very surprising since the time when, 5 years back, he began to go to the cure's house in the evenings, but discretion and humility of mind being the first qualities required in a student of theology, he had always found it impossible to ask any questions. We're all like, okay.
I'm looking at I'm looking at the plot of this thing, and I'm just, I don't. What? It's
Brian
one of those.
Sorry, I just read what Zen wrote. Brian Bless is one of the greatest people of our time. He's boxed with the Dalai Lama, had a heart attack mid-play, got up, went the show must go on, and finished it before getting medical attention. Has climbed just about every single mountain on the planet. Sadly, he has failed the ascent on Mount Everest multiple times.
He
In
also went to
short, Julian
Amazon.
finds weird things and ponders upon them. Yes.
It's one of those. I'm looking at the summary for it, and it is just
Is it
I don't
weird?
know. Well, here's the summary. It chronicles the attempts of a provisional young man to rise socially beyond his modest upbringing through a combination of talent, hard work, deception, and hypocrisy. He ultimately allows his passions to betray him.
It sounds honestly like a book I would hate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
it don't sound too
historical
good.
psychological novel.
Yeah.
It's
Weird.
yeah. It's one of those books.
There's a good deal of coquetry in the noble reserve, replies the young man with the mustache. I just opened randomly to it.
I don't know why that got to me, but it just.
I don't know either. I just opened
There's an
to it.
awful lot of coquetry
Oh,
here,
look!
says the young man with a mustache.
Oh, Gigi!
Gigi. Colette.
Gigi!
I
I
like the
only know about
cover.
this because of the movie.
I like the copy of the book.
Gigi.
We have such discrepancy with the books we're getting here. Like, there's some that are like so old and everything, but this one looks like really sharp and clean. Like,
I
it's
mean,
crazy.
yeah, it's like somebody. It came from Wonder Book. I need to find what this place is. Um, but it's almost like whoever had it or it never sold. It's like
Yeah.
one of the books that
Yeah,
never
like
sold. I mean, it's been read. This the cover is open. But it's a short book.
so it's like one of those maybe like
Yeah. When
Oh,
was
is
this?
there even a page 179 in this?
Yes, there is actually.
Oh, we do have
Oh,
one.
Okay,
Okay.
so 179. Here we go. First sentence. Madame Armand, who had regular features, remained faithful to the high military collar and the tight curled fringe because she had been told she looked like Queen Alexandra, only saucier.
huh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, I have sound alerts turned off on this one, I think. Sorry, guys.
I got a bad feeling about
I
this.
got a bad feeling about this. A lot of books like these are ones that make it past the estate sales stage, then get bundled by consigners and sold in bulk to resellers. Yeah, this came from the website Books by the Foot. They sell things. They sell boxes of books and different. So like, I could have gotten a box of romance, a box of mystery, kids books. They also sell books by like color. So like, if you're staging something, um and you need blue covers for like a shelf, they do stuff like that. It's really interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
interesting is for sure. I might read that on my own. I'm not reading Colette on stream. That's a no. Okay, next book. I think Aunt Eek's where I go buys them. Oh, okay. Steinbeck, America and Americans.
Huh.
I didn't know. I haven't heard
I don't
this.
think I haven't heard of it either. Is it like an essay or something?
Oh, it's photos.
Oh. Oh. That's
Wow.
neat. Wow.
I have never heard of this.
That is cool.
It's an
It's
outlier as far as what we would have
I
expected.
know.
Oh, that's neat.
Unsparingly, though with humor, affection, and his own matchless vein of anecdote, John Steinbeck describes America as he sees it, with its natural wealth, its moral and political shortcomings, with a gallery of American types heroes, eccentrics, Indians, teenagers, misguided parents, old people, and their paradoxes of something America's history and the promise of its future. Here, in Steinbeck's own words, is a book of opinions unashamed and individual, inspired by curiosity, impatience, some anger, and a passionate love of America and Americans.
Oh.
Wow.
I never heard of this, but I had heard of America. Rickion. Who are the photos by? The text is Steinbeck. First chapter, E Pluribus Unum. Photos are from Life, Sports Illustrated, and Time.
Oh.
Interesting. I'm gonna definitely check this one out. I had no idea.
Hmm.
That'd be a fast
Yeah.
read.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting. I don't know if that's in print at all. I've never seen it in a bookstore.
It feels like something you would find more like as a requirement for a photography class or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Kintray, this book is not the print version of People of Walmart. Look, more Steinbeck.
More Steinbeck? Yeah.
More Steinbeck. All the
Once there was a
Steinbeck.
war. I did not know. This was 35 cents originally. The other one doesn't have a price on it. No, it does. 150. Nonfiction. This one, Once There Was a War? I've never heard of this.
Oh, it's an essay collection.
Is it?
Yeah.
Steinbeck in World War II. What's
Yeah.
this inside it? We've got a bonus present. La Compagnia Caros Leti.
What is that?
The
It's a menu
Oh my god!
wow.
in Italian.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my
Bonus
god.
prize.
I'm pretty sure it's a menu. Plateau Express menu. Is it French or Italian? I think oh, it's 4 languages. Italian, French, English, and German. Express tray menu,
Oh.
service and bread, hors d'oeuvres,
It's a train
meat.
menu.
Oh my god! Is that?
Oh,
It is!
the menu for a train dining car.
That's really cool.
That's so cool.
Keep that thing.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm keeping it.
Make
That's
sure
gonna...
that thing's safe.
I'm gonna,
Oh my
like...
goodness.
Look at that. That's wild. So it was... I don't know what L means. Maybe lira? What's the Italian money system?
What's the name of the restaurant again?
It says La
What?
Pagnia Caros Leti
La
presents Il Vasaya Espresso.
I'm trying to find this Elvira Espresso.
Vasaya. It's Compagnia Caros Leti.
I can't spell any of this.
It's right there.
I
Do you see it on the screen?
let me see.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about getting used books, finding things left behind. This is fascinating. What year? I want to say it's like the 60s or 70s.
It looks like the 60s.
It does
I
look
think
like the
that's-
60s, though.
Keep that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't find it because I can't work it.
You know who is fully booked? Oh, mystery box of books. Let's come up with a song. Wild.
Yeah. The Steinbeck book sounds interesting. I was just looking that one up too.
Now I want to know the history of this book. Somebody must have read this on a train while they were in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Has to have.
Yeah.
And they tucked it in. Oh my god. That is so cool. I'm going to put that back in and then put it to the side because... See, that's another reason I loved used books. It not only do you find cool stuff in it, but it's like, I wonder what the history of this book is. Where has this book been? That one has clearly traveled.
It's
Yeah.
been abroad. Yeah.
It has been abroad, yes. Okay, next book, Shakespeare Sonnets.
Oh.
I already have like them
Yeah.
5 different ways. But you know what? I'll probably keep this one next to me too on my shelf.
What is there to say about his sonnets?
Just have a whole Shakespeare shelf.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's interesting.
Organized
It's
by
from
play.
Belgium. Zen says it's from Belgium.
Oh. Oh. No, that would make sense then. That would make absolute sense.
It's just fascinating.
Yeah.
I think some people don't realize that some of the sonnets are written about a man. I forget which one it is, but some of the romance ones are not just about women.
Yeah. Can't remember which ones either.
No. Yeah, there's nothing else to really say about that. It's Shakespeare sonnets.
It's
It's
Shakespeare
Shakespeare.
sonnets. It's Shakespeare.
It's
Actually,
Shakespeare.
I don't think we read any of the sonnets in my Shakespeare class.
Really?
Just curious.
Yeah.
Most of it was the plays.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. They
Next.
didn't skip.
Oh. The Black,
The Black
Arrow.
Arrow. I've got a copy of this book. Not this edition, but I've got a hard copy of that book.
This one is Pocketbooks Junior.
Ooh. That means it's tiny.
Complete and unabridged. How much was it? Doesn't say. In the days of the War of the Roses, treason and treachery faced Dick Shelton at every turn in his search of his father's murderer.
Yeah, Blebla. I agree with Blebla. I like the red stained pages
Yeah.
there. Like,
Yeah.
excellent.
I have a copy of this. Well, not that copy, but I've got this book. It is an interesting read.
I'm gonna have to check it out. A Tale of the Two Roses.
Yeah, War of the Roses.
First
Tudors.
printing is 1950.
Mhm.
Includes with this pocketbook junior includes every word contained in the original higher priced edition. It is printed from brand new plates made from completely reset large clear easy to read type. Interesting.
It's a cheap version.
It is.
Yeah.
That's okay. I like cheap versions sometimes.
I've seen a couple
Mhm.
pocketbook junior books.
Yeah. Smell. I'm like getting high over here. Such a good smell. Okay, next one. It's in great condition too. Look at that.
It was solid.
Yeah, it really is. The spine is virtually, and it's a solid weight to the book. It was originally sold. The Wikipedia is originally sold as a cereal. Oh, really? This one, the Black Arrow. Oh, Zen coming in with their knowledge. More Steinbeck, the Wayward Bus.
You know, at this point, we're
Have
just
to-
gonna have to make this a drinking game.
Yeah.
Every time Steinbeck-
We're gonna have to play Steinbeck or
For those of
other.
us who don't drink, we should make a bingo card.
Bingo card. Yeah.
Steinbeck or Stanham.
Okay. Here. Every time we pull
That's
out,
the free space.
if you have water, every time we pull out Steinbeck, hydrate.
That's actually a good idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just took a
Hydrated.
sip, so I'm good.
Steinbeck or Shakespeare?
I would love to know after all this is done, like what percentage of the books were Steinbeck and or Shakespeare.
I'll figure it out. Right
as
now,
we
I
delve
don't even know. I lost track of how many books we've opened so far.
I'll say, yeah, we can count after the fact.
Yeah, I'll count after the fact. The Wayward Bus. I didn't know this existed. I don't think I've ever seen this one in print either.
Oh, I've never seen it anywhere.
Yeah,
And
I've
on the
never
back,
heard of it.
it says it's one of his best books. A lot of books, yes. It says it's one of his best books, so that's weird.
One of his best, like, well, then are they trying to say all his books are the best, but this is just one of them? Like, come on.
I know. Next one. Shakespeare! Hydrate!
Oh no!
King Lear. Ooh.
King Lear.
Yep. I honestly have never read King Lear.
It has an interesting history behind it because when it first came out, the ending shocked the audience completely.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Because-
it matches my nails.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Because, well, Shakespeare often wrote plays that were the audience would know what the story was, and King Lear was a story that the audience would know. Which ended with Lear's daughter and his daughter's lover coming in, rescuing them, Lear getting back on the throne, and it ending happily ever after.
Hmm.
And then the Shakespeare play happened,
Mm,
and I'm sure some of you know the ending of the Shakespeare play.
yes.
And the audience reportedly was just absolutely silent
Really?
at the end of the play. Yeah.
Like, not a good silent either.
No, it was so controversial that for about more than 100 years, the original ending was not performed on stage.
Ow.
Really?
Another
Then what did
playwright
they do?
Another playwright came in and rewrote the ending to be happier, and that version was played on stage.
Interesting. I wonder which version this has.
It would have the original ending
It would have the original ending.
because no one does the revised ending anymore.
I'm curious though. It would be interesting to see somebody film it, like a film adaptation, where you can watch either of the endings.
Someone did film what the revised ending was like.
Oh.
It's in a documentary, and they show it, what it would have been
Oh.
like. It's not particularly good.
Oh, I'm sure. It still would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Kind of both silent.
I just don't know much about King Lear at all.
Neither do I.
Hmm.
There was
I don't know what
a
else to say.
there was a Kurosawa film based off King Lear.
The
Oh,
only
that's
thing
right.
the
Yeah.
only thing I know about King Lear is from Fate Grand Order, so that's nothing.
I mean, no, that's fine because
Yeah.
it shows like connections.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's Shakespeare's weird in Fate Grand Order, so like I never know what to take at face value because
Yeah.
every character in Fate Grand Order is weird compared to their historical context.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, next one. Are we gonna have Shakespeare, or are we gonna have Steinbeck or something else?
I think it's going to be something else.
Something else.
Robert Louis Stevenson kidnapped again.
Again.
No,
Another
our
duplicate.
first
Another copy of
duplicate.
Kidnapped.
Is it different printing?
It is a different. This one's a Scholastic Library edition,
Ah.
so it is a different printing.
But the first of our duplicates.
Yep.
Yep.
That's another one. We're getting a lot of Stevenson. We're getting a lot of the S's. I feel like they grabbed from the S pile and tossed it in here.
You know what? I would not be surprised if they were sorted alphabetically and then they just
Grabbed it, like went
Yeah.
through.
like grabbed a shelf and
Yeah.
shoved it into a bag.
Mhm.
Interesting. This one's got a map of Scotland on the back. Hard to see with the light. Yeah, there we go. I mean, we already talked about this one. It's a Scholastic edition, which is pretty cool, but that's it. Oh, it's got somebody's name on it. It's from this whoever owned it is from Bethesda, Maryland.
Hmm.
Hey.
Or is it it's a I think it says MD. I don't think that's an MA. No, their A's look different. I almost want to write to this person. Oh, I should do that.
Hopefully they're still around.
If not, I'll just be like, this is Oh,
I have your book. Want it back?
I
that'd be
found
hilarious.
your book in a box.
Pay me in more books and you'll get it back.
Okay, here we go. Who's this next one going to be?
I think we're gonna strike Steinbeck again.
Steinbeck
Yeah.
again? Okay. Oh my god! You were right!
I did. Yeah. In dubious battle.
In Dubious Battle. Hydrate!
I'm gonna need more water. Oh shit.
I just stored up water.
Hello, DT. Welcome in. A lot of my finds have names of people who the book was gifted to. Yeah. I love it. That's cool. In Dubious Battle, his impassioned novel of man's struggle against injustice and the years of the Great Depression. Breathless, raw, superb. Never heard of it.
No. I always love those novels that like have these big pronunciations. Like this is the novel everyone will remember.
Yeah.
And you're left going, what?
Like, huh?
Who?
Nobody heard it.
Like that's how I feel about like, you know, a lot of the like quote unquote Oscar bait films with like all these raving reviews, and it's like, yeah, okay.
Mm.
We'll see how if it stacks up to that when I go see it. Like, chill.
Yeah, I agree, Zen. This is the worst cover we've seen yet.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's
Yeah.
just
It ain't.
I
too
would
good.
just if that was in like a bookshelf, I'd be like, okay.
I'd pass over it.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
just
this is interesting. It says brutal novel with Steinbeck's own comment about In Dubious Battle. It is a bitter, violent story of the oppressed fruit pickers in California, a direct predecessor of the Grapes of Wrath.
Oh.
In other
Like,
words,
as
I'll
in
probably hate
came
it.
Out,
Yeah.
It came out before the Grapes of Wrath, or this was written as a prequel to the Grapes of
I
Wrath?
don't know. It seems almost like it's a just a predecessor in general.
let's see. It came out before.
It came out
Okay.
before. Okay.
1936. Grapes of Wrath was 1939.
Okay, so it might have just been like an actual like maybe he was inspired by this to write the Grapes of Wrath.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
A follow up.
That's the equivalent of that one Batman game cover.
I don't know which one.
I don't
that
know
is.
which one that is, yeah.
That is, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Oh god, it's a thin one. My brain is saying Steinbeck again. Nope, but it is an S!
Oh.
One day in the life
Have
of
we gotten
Ivan.
any that aren't an S?
We've had few, like Colette.
We've had some. Mhm.
Yeah.
One Day
Okay.
in the Life of Ivan Denisovich.
Oh.
It's an anti-Stalinist novel.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'd be curious to check that out.
I'm interesting.
You are
I'm in.
interesting.
I meant to say I'm interested. Ivan Denisovich is a masterpiece in its own right, work squarely in the mainstream of Russia's literary tradition and comparable to some of its greatest examples. It is, of course, a document of our time. I mean, there's clearly war going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't know this many books existed. Blah, blah. Ooh, this is from the National... What is this? It's got a stamp in it. Oh, the cover's ripped. I didn't notice that.
Ooh.
Oh
Sadness.
dear.
National... It's paid. In the National House? Something Embassy. Saigon. Oh my god!
Oh wow. Wow.
I can't read some of the words, but it's Embassy Saigon.
Hmm.
International House. Something Embassy Saigon. So this was probably over during Vietnam.
What a curious stamp to find in a book.
I know.
Hmm.
This is fascinating. It's another one from Wonder Book. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is a thicker one.
Okay.
The First
guessing
Circle by Alexander Solzhenitsyn.
Is that the
Aw, dang it.
same author?
Yeah, same author.
The First Circle.
I've never heard of this author or these books.
I've never
Oh.
heard of this at all.
It's an astounding piece of political journalism as well as literary work of art.
I'm beginning to sense a theme with this author.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fiction or nonfiction?
It is.
I would assume with like journalistic intent, it would be somewhat nonfiction.
It's from the books of Martha R. Dolly. Thank you for
It's-
this, Martha Dolly.
It is classified as semi-autobiographical novel, so it's
There's
fiction?
87 chapters.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yep, that's Russian literature for you.
I know, right? Okay.
If it isn't, if you can't kill a man with that book, then it's not Russian literature.
Nope. Yep.
Let's say, have you read a lot of Russian literature?
I read Crime and Punishment once. Well, I barely read it.
This
I
year,
got through a page.
There's a couple Dostoevsky books that I want to read this year, that are shorter. One of them was written while he was in a prison camp. And he smuggled it out with him when he got out.
Ooh.
So I'm like,
Impressive.
oh, I want to read that one.
Yeah.
Because that's how he like wrote it in secret and then smuggled it out. And I'm like, yeah, that's going to be a good one. I don't know if this means characters like they're actual characters or characters as in like the people in the book who are real. They might be somewhat real. So I'm curious. I'm gonna have to look more into this author.
Zen posted an image of that Batman game he mentioned in the Discord, and I'm just
Discord?
staring at it like, wow, that is the worst possible video game cover I've ever seen.
Game Science, is it? Oh god.
Yep.
Oh god.
That is horrendous. I wouldn't even look at it. Game of the year, 10 out of 10. 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
5 out of 5 must own. Game of the year everywhere. That's no.
It's like a parody of a game cover.
It really is. That's terrible.
My graphic design heart is like recoiling at this. Like, this is disgusting.
What is it even called? Oh,
it was Arkham City, I believe.
You can barely even see the title of the game.
You can't distinguish it from everything else.
It's in the middle right.
By the way this was designed, you would assume this Batman game is called 10 out of 10.
I really would. Hydrate, we've got another Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Oh, Shakespeare.
Exit stage left, pursued by bear.
Is that what's in here?
Yes, that's in there. It is the strangest Shakespeare stage direction ever written.
The Winter's Tale. I
Mhm.
don't think I've ever read this one because I
It's
certainly would recall that.
it's another one of his problem plays, which means it's not really a comedy and
Yeah.
not really a tragedy. It's kind
Okay.
of there. But yeah, it is infamous for exit stage left pursued by bear.
Did they have somebody in a bear costume on stage?
Yes, they did.
Get out.
Yes. No, it's like a very odd direction. I can only imagine in Shakespeare's times what his fellow actors were thinking when they read it.
Like, is there going to be an actual bear on
Bear.
stage? Is someone
We could
dressed as one?
we could get a bear, but you really want that on the stage?
I
It,
want to
it's
know if there's dialogue from the bear.
No,
I want to know if there's
it
lines.
appears and it
Is
disappears
that
in
it?
that one line. That is it.
So the
it,
bear is
it's.
just.
Wow.
Did they
I'm
like?
imagining.
I'm.
I'm
Well,
imagining the logistics planning this play, and they're like, "Why is that guy in a bear suit? Don't worry about it."
I'm just
well, this,
imagining. Okay, here's my little. I've got little figures here. Here's the character, and here's the bear, and I imagined they would be like, and then you never see this thing again. But
yes,
like
Yeah,
with
pretty
car,
much.
like just like a cardboard cutout, like somebody running behind with it, like holding
well,
it up.
it's supposed to be a scene where this character is supposed to leave like his
It's
child behind and all that,
Oh
and then
Jesus!
they get
it's
chased off.
it's that newscast clip of here's a recreation of how the bear escaped into
Yes,
the woods, and it's
the
the
guy
guy
just
just-
I've seen
Oh,
this. I'm like, please tell me this is a parody of a news report.
I know, but it was genuine, and I love it.
This is how it ran away. If you haven't seen it, I'll post it in Discord because it is the funniest. Like, who thought that was a good idea? Who greenlit
What?
that?
Yeah, what news channel said, okay, like we don't have much to go off here, like we have landscape shots. Can you like get a cardboard cutout of a bear
They
and
were like,
show where it ran to give people an idea?
instead of going, it went here to here, like using your body to step, they're like, no, we're gonna actually take a bear and make it run.
Oh no!
It's so funny.
I crack up every time I see it. Because where
want-
is that guy now?
I don't know. I hope he's doing good work. I
I
hope
ho-
he's doing yeah, I hope he's still in the news.
Okay, this is a thick one. I'm worried.
What is it?
I say Steinbeck again.
Nope. Contemporary
Whoa.
American poets.
Okay, yeah.
Is that a duplicate again?
No,
Uh-huh.
this one's
Okay, so-
modern. This one, it says
Ah.
poetry from 1940.
I got nothing on
Hi,
this.
Crusader. Welcome in. You're late.
Well, I got nothing on this. I'm gonna go. Have fun.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not
Oh,
serious.
I was like, wait, what? Somebody.
course
Oh, ooh, there's notes in here. There's a little piece of paper. What does this say?
Crusader exits stage left pursued by bear.
I don't know what this says. Corson's Inlet? Cape May?
Is it a ticket
Near
stub?
Cape Southeast New Jersey, near Cape May, Carson's Inlet.
Is this like
Oh,
treasure
it's the poem right here. Carson's
clip?
Inlet.
Oh,
So
Ah.
whoever it was, they were taking note of where it is.
I was gonna
Interesting.
say it
then
sounded like
bookmark.
directions to like a treasure or a
I'm
hidden
like, let's
body.
go, everyone. We're going to Carson's Inlet.
That's where the body is.
I wish to see that scene, Zen says, but the bear is played by Nick Cage, reprising his role from The Wicker Man, where he steals a bear costume and sucker punches a lady.
Watch
Yeah,
it.
I
would
I would
absolutely watch
I would pay that. I would pay to
Yeah.
see that. Okay, next one. Steinbeck! Drink.
Oh, come on.
Hydrate.
Oh,
I'm out of water.
I'm out of water too.
We're all gonna be
The
peeing ourselves
Acts
by
of
the end of
King
this.
Arthur and his noble knights.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last book he wrote.
Really?
This is the last book Steinbeck wrote.
I didn't even know he did this.
Yeah.
Did he
Interesting.
write it or compile it?
Well,
Because that
it
seems
was
like-
his. It was his. What's the word I'm looking for? He basically took the Morte Arthur and then went and rewrote it in his own style.
Yeah.
It's his interpretation of it.
Yeah, his interpretation.
Camelot as you've never known it, as it's never been before. The glory and magnificence of the Arthurian legends recreated by Nobel laureate John Steinbeck in an epic fantasy alive with the magic of Merlin and the menace of Mordred, the romance of the Round Table, the brilliance of battle, and the immortal splendor of Camelot. It seems... Where's Balin? Oh, yep, there he is. The knight with the two swords. Where does it start? The knight with the two swords starts here. Also longer. Goes there. It's 30 pages.
Does it so it doesn't compress it like my copy where
No.
it's like 10 pages long.
Yeah.
I need to get a new copy of Lamar Arthur.
Interesting. I did not know. I'm curious. I almost want to read this like as I'm reading the other one. Like read that on stream. This one I can't, but then read that on stream and then read this after as I'm reading each one like a companion.
To see how
Page
it
201.
differs, or
201? Okay.
201, yes.
Hub, said Tollard. That's it.
That's it?
That's it. That's it. The sentence before it is interesting though. From the last page, I'm sad that this wasn't fully on the page. Red eyes glared from the thicket of dirty hair, and the wide mouth bubbled foam like a burped infant.
Wow.
That would have been so much better.
What a description.
Right?
Oh,
And then
he never...
And then it's followed up by
Hub.
Said-
It says Hub, said Tollard. Ho. I'm sorry to
never
have to
fin-
tell you this, Tollard, but you will have to go away, far away. You don't know how to get along with people. You hurt people, and you haven't learned to respect other people's property. Why, Tollard, you haven't learned to clean yourself. Shame. You smell like a combination of a charnel house and a privy. You can't stay around here.
Wow.
Oh, he never finished the book.
He didn't.
Oh, really?
He never finished.
Oh, kind of like
It's a-
Chaucer's Canterbury Tales?
Yeah, this is
Oh.
basically the unfinished manuscript published.
Oh, damn.
That sucks.
It's
Yeah.
it's long,
It's
too.
a big manuscript.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he never finished it.
Oh, the appendix is huge. Oh,
that's
damn.
fair.
This is the appendix.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a big chunk. Holy
That's the
crap.
appendix right there. So, and then that the introduction is not that big, but yeah, it's only that.
Mm.
So really, yeah, it's only 300 pages, which the full Death of King Arthur that I have is like 800.
Yeah.
This book needs its appendix removed, blah blah. Oh.
It is a little swollen.
Just a bit.
Sophia, you now know the rage I feel at puns.
Poor Matsu's dying over here. Where is my thing? I need to reset myself. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Okay, what's next? It wasn't me this time, Kintran. Chaucer! Hey, look at that!
Oh, yeah.
What are the odds?
It's a Penguin classic.
It is Chaucer's
Wow.
Canterbury Tales. I now have 3 copies of this book. Oh my god. Actually, I might have the Penguin class. No, I have Oxford, and then I have another one.
Mm,
I don't know.
I do not have a copy of this book.
How dare you, sir?
I
Maybe
just-
I'll send
I
you this
never-
one.
I never got one.
Then I'll send you this one. That's, I mean, we've read Chaucer on stream, so
Mm.
I loved reading this with my 10th graders. I thought it was hilarious because they're like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "Yes, he did what it says he did." They're like, "Oh my god." Like
Catch them off guard.
it
that
really
way.
does, because they're like, but it's classic. I'm like, yes.
I thought classics were boring.
I know. And they're like, the Miller's Tale just gets them every time. I want to get some sleep. You go to hell. Alas, said Absalon. I knew it well. Go to hell. That's something I feel like anyone says. Chaucer was in A Knight's Tale, so I know all about him. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, we wanted 129 in this one, Kintran?
Hmm. Can't go to where I already am, says Abs.
There's a song about that, I think.
The miller then went back and did not say a word of this, but passed the time of day with John and Allen till their corn was ground, and when the meal was fairly sacked and bound, John wandered out and found their horse was gone. From the Reeves Tale. I just need to reset myself again because I did it while I was leaning. There we go. Now I'm straight. Okay. That moment when kids realize the dick jokes, fart jokes, and yo mama jokes are as old as written language, if not older, is true. I think one of the first things of graffiti was like, for a good time, go here, or something like that.
Yeah. Have you ever read
I
the
remember
graffiti from
hearing.
Pompeii?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
I remember hearing that, like, going through all of the, like, notes and manuscripts from Da Vinci's, like, students
Yup.
was just full of, like dick doodles.
Not
Dick doodles and
surprised.
All
profanity.
over. Yeah.
Yeah, Pompeii's graffiti is hilarious. But it just goes to show civilization has not changed. Technology may
No.
have improved, but we're still doing the same
Humanity
stuff.
remains unchanged.
Humanity remains.
We're still as
Oh.
immature and vulgar as ever.
We've got another duplicate, but different.
Ooh, I
More
like the
stories.
cover.
I do like the cover. That's really cool.
And other stories of the supernatural.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
The
it's
same but different.
same but different. So it's got that. It has
Judge's house? No, that was Bram Stoker.
the Bottle Imp,
Oh yeah.
Markheim,
Okay, yeah.
and the Body Snatcher.
Oh, the Body Snatcher. Oh, that's a good one.
I've never read that
Bottle
one.
Imp?
I don't know the Bottle Imp either.
I've heard of it.
That's I think I might have heard about it when, like, doing some, like, research on, like, Fullmetal Alchemist.
Hmm.
I feel like
from like the homunculus? Yeah.
I
Oh,
think,
really?
Yeah, I think the homunculus might have been a reference to it, but I can't remember if that's
Oh.
true or not.
The Body
The
Snatcher was turned into an amazing movie.
Yeah, I know the movie. Is it based on this?
Yes.
Oh.
The movie with Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi. Yes, it is. Based on.
Interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
different than what I was thinking. Okay.
Interesting. Definitely. These are short enough. Some of these are, like, the other ones are short enough that I could do a short, like, YouTube short with it. Not short, but you know what I mean. A shorter YouTube video upload.
Short story video, yeah.
Oh, this is a heavy book. This is solid paper. I'm just going to drop it on. Funk. The Portable Stephen Crane. Oh my god.
That's portable?
I mean, it's not that big. It has... Wow. And it has,
Oh, yeah, he wrote...
it's like everything.
Yeah. Red Badge of Courage.
Yep, it has the World of it has the World of Maggie, the World of Henry Fleming, A World of Shipwreck, A World of Ironies, and A World in Miniature. It looks like it has... This book collects all the finest writings of one key, The Red Badge of Courage, Maggie, A Girl of the Streets, and George's Mother. It also has 5 parts, each containing letters, sketches, stories, and journalism arranged around the major work to show the development as well as the entire range of Crane's art. Oh. So it's not the novels themselves. Best tales and sketches are collected in all. Maybe it is. I don't know. Oh, it does. It looks like it's the full novels. And then stuff that goes around it. Oh my god, it is. Okay, so that's what it is. That's fascinating. This is a really interesting... And apparently there's other books in this portable series from Viking. Steinbeck, Dorothy Parker, the Bible, Shakespeare, Whitman, Poe, Wilde, Faulkner, an Irish reader, Twain Rebellis, I don't know, a Russian reader, Emerson, Blake, Elizabethan reader, Lawrence, Maupassant, Joyce, Thoreau, Dante, Conrad, Johnson and Boswell, Chekhov, Veblen, Swift, and Hawthorne.
I'll be
Kinda want
curious to see if we
everything.
come across any other of these portable books in the box.
I would be thrilled, to be honest, if there were, and this is in such good condition.
It's really nice.
It smells great, too. I'm sniffing all the books.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I was there, I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Smell-o-vision, where are you?
Conrad, the Secret Agent.
Oh.
I've not read this one.
Me neither. Heard of it.
Heard of it, yeah.
Never read it.
Ooh, from the seed of an actual attempt made in 1894 to blow up the Greenwich Observatory, Conrad created one of his most intense and chilling plots.
Huh.
I feel like this is adapted into something.
It's a black satire on English society. I love satire.
Well, I mean, what isn't?
True.
yeah. Where was this? It's adapted into. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Zen. I'm not reading that out loud. It's already on my screen. I need to. I've been eyeing this and wanting to read it. Well, now I guess I have a thing. Page 150. Okay. The time has come, and he is the only man great enough for the work, protested the revolutionary Toodles, flaring up under the calm, speculative gaze of the assistant commissioner. Sorry, I lost it at the name.
Toodles.
I wonder if that's a code name or something.
I don't. Oh no. Oh. Hitchcock adapted this into a film called Sabotage.
Yes, that routine was well spent.
That's really well spent.
I'm crying. Why am I crying over that?
The revolutionary Toodles.
So unexpected. Let me try to read the whole thing again. Oh, breathe. Okay. I can't.
Stop laughing.
It's just the name. It's just so out of left field.
I can't. I'm trying to stop laughing.
I can't continue on.
I feel left out. I'm not giggly enough.
I'm choking.
My stomach hurts from that. Oh my god.
It hit me in waves, that one, Blake.
I was not expecting that. Holy shit.
Clip worthy, please.
That
Someone
was
get
seriously
Someone-
clip worthy. Oh my god.
Oh,
Someone
It's gonna be a solid 5 minutes of us just laughing like 5-year-olds.
I'm okay with that. Especially over something like this. Good lord.
Joseph Conrad is just looking from beyond the veil, just like horrified.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I think I know which of us is gonna. It would win. Would lose last, and it'll you laugh, you lose.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Between me, Matthew, and Waste, I don't know. Whew.
There's some stuff that I might be able to last out longer with, but man,
Not
you were
Toodles,
so Intron. That was impressive.
Don't bring it up against him. You'll set me off again.
I'm fine. Ab says
Okay.
stand up and stretch. Okay, everyone
Right.
stand up and stretch. That's a good
Good
one.
idea.
My legs.
Ugh.
Ah.
Oh no! I forgot I had muscles.
She's dead, Jim.
It happens to the best of us. Ugh.
Oh.
That was a
But
perfect Redeem Crusader. I've never had a more perfect one. I mean the ho one or whatever before
what are
3
the
words.
chances of that? Like, what were the chances that we landed on that sentence?
Yeah, but it's not intended to be that funny.
No,
I
it's
don't
not.
think.
Not in the context of the story, I'm
It's
sure.
probably a very serious thing. You know what? Somebody probably died like miserably right before that.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Like, something was clearly wrong, but then, good lord.
the name.
The name. I'm trying not to laugh still.
I'm still trying that. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see what's next. Oh,
What's
this.
next?
Okay, that was 2 books in one.
Please don't let it be Steinbeck or Shakespeare.
Nope, it's more Joseph Conrad though.
Oh, okay.
Chance, a novel by Joseph Conrad. This is old.
Oh.
A little worn along the spine, but it
A
doesn't look
little.
too bad.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's not. It's worn, but it's not warping,
Mhm.
which is rare.
Especially for a paperback, yeah.
Yeah. They usually do
Yeah.
that like curve. In Chance, Conrad turns his genius as a storyteller to the mysterious love affair of Flora de Barral and Captain Anthony, master of the Ferndale. Her mother dead, her father a spectacular bankrupt and in prison as a result. Flora is left to grow up in a strange and exacting foster family. When she attempts to escape from the haunting sadness of her childhood in her marriage to Anthony, her father returns from prison and determines to possess her love for himself alone. And all those who touch upon the lives of these 3 are caught in the tense and brooding drama of their fate. I don't know.
This was his best sold work, apparently.
Was it? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have thought The Secret Agent was. I've never seen this one. I've seen The Secret Agent
Yeah.
before.
Apparently this had record sales.
See, that's fascinating because Steinbeck we've seen too, where it's like his best work, but it's like, it's interesting to see, but what's still in publication now?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the best work, and then there's like what's, I suppose, marketable after the fact.
Maybe, yeah, like during this
Yeah.
time period, maybe it was because it seems to be kind of a romance.
Yeah, it would have been popular with the public.
It's an
compared
affair,
to-
yeah. It's about an affair, whereas this one is like a spy, intense. That's fascinating.
Honestly, I feel like that's kind of a shame. Like the fact that it seems like romance has taken such a dive in terms of interest overall.
Well, classic romance, yes. Modern romance, no. But right now, there's a trend towards the very spicy and the very dark.
Mhm.
Like
That's fair.
right now, there's a book. Well, it's a duology, I guess, of books by H.D. Carlton. Called the first one's Haunting Adeline, and the second is Hunting Adeline. Those are dark.
Mm.
They basically glorify SA. And there are some, like, I had someone show me one of the scenes in it, and my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, how can anyone find this, like, romantic or sexy or anything? It is horrifying. And yet, it's like, it's hard to find in bookstores because people are obsessed with it.
Yeah, I mean, when you said that the book that we just looked at was about an affair, I'm like, yeah, that seems like that's weirdly popular for some reason.
Yeah.
Even today.
Even today, but it
There's
doesn't
a
have
tag
the,
for that.
yeah. But the
say-
classics doesn't have the staying power.
Yeah, for like back in the day, I suppose, like, a story about an affair would probably strike as like, ooh, scandals, like living vicariously through the story,
True,
Like
true.
trying to do things that were taboo at the time through the story and stuff like that. Whereas today we're a little bit disillusioned about stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also the fact that like what's become taboo has sort of changed over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Very much
So now if you want something taboo, you got to really reach a little bit.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Lawrence, Lady Chatterley's lover was hit with obscenity laws, and like that is nothing compared to what they do with even like acceptable romance today.
Yeah.
Say itch.io has a better selection.
Like the obsession with you said like dark and what was the other word that you used?
Um,
Um,
dark and I don't know.
yeah, the current trends of
They're
romance novels
violent too.
nowadays.
They're
Yeah,
violent.
it feels like uh almost like a race against cultural norms to keep the genre about taboo romances as
Okay.
more and more things become acceptable
I mean,
or normal or mainstream.
maybe it would be interesting to see, you know, where it continues to go
Hmm.
with regards to that, because it's just, yeah, there's a lot of dark mafia romance is like a huge thing
Mhm.
Hmm.
right now. Like, it's just
Yeah,
wild.
Mhm.
and there's also like the whole YA supernatural um like romance stories too.
Yeah, those are there's there's some adult ones that are too.
Yep,
Mhm.
uh,
yep,
I'm not saying
yep,
anybody should
yep.
go read Katie Robert, but if you are looking for an interesting storyline, Katie Robert has 4 books out right now that are fantastic. No, what?
Yeah,
Never mind.
it's a
Joseph.
this is a genre I don't engage with much unless it like bleeds into the mainstream. And the most recent, like I'd say, romance thing that bled into the mainstream was Twilight
Oh God,
that I
no.
know of.
Ugh, that was not that
Yeah,
recent, but it's coming back out again, I guess. But I will
It's a
say
listen, I'm
series.
old. Okay,
there was a particular book I bought because the cover was pretty. I didn't buy it for the book itself. I literally didn't. I was gonna read it as a joke, and it ended up being fantastic. So I'm kind of like mad at myself. Oh, bye, blah blah. Blah blah exits stage left, pursued by bear. Joseph
bye, blah
Conrad
blah.
again.
Or Joseph Conrad.
He's apparently another one as well. An outcast of the islands.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
It's his second book.
Okay. He's fully clothed. She's wearing a towel. You know, the typical. Is typical Conrad, it says, both in its structure and content. The interpenetration of man and nature is constant. Both fuse into an almost indistinguishable landscape, each taking on the coloration of the other. And at the end, the jungle reclaims its own. Man has ventured but briefly into the light, a light that he temperamentally and spiritually cannot abide. The end is implicit in the beginning, but in between lies the dark drama of his fitful struggle against the dark demons that possess his soul. Interesting.
Sounds
Hmm.
more like a scholar's essay than an actual description of the book.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
I've not. I don't know.
Mm. I looked up what the plot is actually for
Oh,
this one. Yeah. Guy who is on a ship and he is running away from a scandal elsewhere, comes to an island, messes around with the tribal chief's daughter,
yep.
and makes a
Her.
real big mess of it.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. She's painted as other in the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, what's this one? Ooh, this is a big one. Alex, oh, another soul assistant. The Gulag Archipelago.
Hmm.
There's something in it.
Ooh, is there?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. What is
You got something.
Maxwell.
it?
Improved signal to noise radio.
Oh.
It's stickers for like premium, super premium cassette tapes.
Oh, a VHS cassette. Oh, those stickers.
I don't. Is it?
Huh.
I think it's. Is it VHS or is it
It's
cassette?
VHS, I think.
Oh no. Oh, maybe.
Is it? Because I know they had stickers for VHSs. They would always
Is
come
it?
in
It's for a
box.
tape recorder.
Oh.
So
Oh.
cassettes.
It's yeah.
Oh, cassettes, regular
Cassette
cassettes.
tapes. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so this is interesting. This is from the author himself. For years, I have with reluctant heart withheld from publication this already completed book. My obligation to those still living outweighed my obligation to the dead. But now that state security has seized the book anyway, I have no alternative but to publish it immediately. Whoa.
Mhm.
That's interesting.
It's nonfiction.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say that may have been like a bait for something, but man, if that's what actually happened.
It says it's an experiment in literary investigation. Volumes 1 and 2. Oh, wait a minute. I think it's a 3-book. I think it's published
It
still
is.
with 3 books, isn't it?
It is. It's 3 books.
So this is 1 and 2. I hope the third one's in here. The Gulag is it Archipelago?
Archipelago.
Archipelago, okay. 1918 to 1956.
Mhm.
I dedicate this to all those who did not live to tell it, and may they please forgive me for not having seen it all nor remembered it all, for not having divined all of it. Damn.
Man.
Mhm. It was apparently published underground, so wow.
I mean, makes sense considering the content.
Yeah. The fact that it was confiscated. So, part 1 is the prison industry. The second part is perpetual motion. So, the ships of the archipelago, the ports, the slave caravans from island to island. Wow, interesting. I'm definitely going to be reading this one.
Sounds dark, but
yeah,
interesting.
dark, but I mean, it's interesting that there's a mix of fiction and nonfiction in here. Oh, this is another thick book. Cancer Ward. It's another Solzhenitsyn. Solzhenitsyn? I wish I could pronounce it correctly.
Oh,
It's another one of his.
I'm starting to see a theme with this.
S. That's the theme. Complete and unexpurgated. Ooh, I love unexpurgated texts. Finally got my hands on a copy of the unexpurgated.
That's a word of the day word right there.
Yes. The unexpurgated picture of Dorian Gray.
Ooh.
Ooh.
They left in the gay. This complete and unexpurgated edition of the highly acclaimed Bethelberg translation also includes the author's stand against censorship in his own words and his world-famous letters to the Congress of Soviet Writers. This is interesting, because I love when authors push back against censorship.
Okay, this is. I just tried to look up the definition of unexpurgated, and it just says not expurgated. Duh!
Look up
What's
expurgated.
expurgated mean?
Yes, abs. Someone said gay.
Having material deleted of books, okay.
Yeah.
So uncensored.
It's uncensored, yeah. Well, it's more but it's a little different because censorship I feel changes wording. Unexpurgated means it's been like expurgated, they've removed it. Abridged is totally different. Abridged is shortened for length. Expurgation is removing content. So it's like a form of censorship, yeah. Whereas unexpurgated, they're putting that back in.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with, it has everything to do with content versus.
Right. Okay. So it's
time.
it's a useful word because it's a more contextual type of censorship.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Having had erroneous, obscene, or other objectionable material removed.
Yeah. So, like with the picture of the portrait of Dorian Gray, it's things that were considered obscene were removed for many, many years, and I don't even remember when. It wasn't until more recently that they started printing the unexpurgated text. Yeah. So it's really interesting how many texts have that. Okay, next. We're starting to, let's see, can I feel the bottom? If I reach my arm in enough, I can feel the bottom on one side.
Oh.
Oh my god.
It's a miracle.
My goodness.
Actual progress.
James Fenimore Cooper, the Deer Slayer.
More of the, I think it's called the Leatherstocking Chronicles.
Is it? Yep. Last of the Leatherstocking Tales to be written.
Knew it.
Apparently this was his favorite.
Hmm.
A lot more breaking twigs.
Oh my god, really?
Well, that's again. That's what
Oh,
Mark
that's
Twain
right,
That's what
Twain.
Twain said.
brought it up. Yeah.
It's a Signet classic.
Every time I've got the Signet Classic version of Last of the Mohicans, but I've actually never read it.
Oh my god. I can feel the bottom on one side, Zen. It's true. The Deer Slayer or the First Warpath. Huh.
So
I've
is
never
the
read
Rise of
it.
the is the Rise of the Mohicans the first in that series,
The
or
last of the
the last of the Mohicans? My bad.
well, it
I
was
don't
written out
remember.
of order.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think Last of the Mohicans was one of the early ones, and the Deerstalker I think takes place
Oh yeah.
earlier.
So it says here, they were published during 1823 to 1841, arranged according to the chronology of their hero, Natty Bumppo, who appears under various sobriquets in all 5 romances. The sequence is the Deerslayer, the Last of the Mohicans, the Pathfinder, the Pioneers, the Prairie, um, and then then he changed it. So from the Deerslayer takes place when Natty is 22 to 24. Last of the Mohicans is 35 to 37. Pathfinder is 37 to 39. Pioneers is 71 to 72. And Prairie is 80 to 83. The ages of the character.
Oh,
So technically, if you wanted to read it in chronological order, you would start with the Deerslayer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever read them all. I've always wanted to read the Deerslayer, and I mean, I read The Last of the Mohicans forever ago for school, college course. Ian Forster, aspects of the novel.
Yeah.
Interesting. Another nonfiction.
Hmm.
I like Forster. I love Morris or Maurice, depending on how you're looking at it. Maurice. I love this how that one was not published. He wanted it not published until so long after his this is a lecture. He didn't want it published until so many, I think like 50 years after his death, because it was like one of the first novels written that portrays a gay relationship that ends happy.
Wow.
Yeah. They don't die in the end and they're like
Yeah.
together. So that was like he's like, I can't publish this during my life. Because, at that time it was they either died or they were, criminals, the villains, whatever. And this one, nope.
That
It's
was
very
really smart
romantic.
on his part.
Yeah. It's very romantic. I absolutely love it. I read it for a class. That's what I was introduced to it. And then I was trying to find the film has the movie version. Oh my god, who's in it? I'm typing sideways. Let's see if I can find the movie. Because it's got quite a few famous people in it. There's a stage adaptation. Where's the oh yeah, the movie has Hugh Grant as Clive and Rupert Graves as Alec. And
That's a
then
solid
James Wilby as Morris. It's a very good one. It was a solid film. And that was in 1987 and it was published in 1971. It was written though in 1913.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Revised in 1932 and in 1952. Each version differs from one another in the novel's last part. And then he didn't want it published until he showed the different versions to some of his friends. It was published posthumously. He didn't seek to publish it during his lifetime, believing it to have been unpublishable during that time period, owing to public and legal attitudes to same-sex love. And then the note on the manuscript when they found it, I remember this, was publishable but worth it? Question mark. How sad is that?
Absolutely worth it. That's
Yeah.
like
But the fact that he had to question it is so sad.
Yeah, it's terrible that he had to go to such lengths just to like ensure that the proper work would be published,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
that he didn't live to see it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's valuable that it was able to survive up to this point to where it
Right,
could be.
right. The fact, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
congrats to him for getting it published at all.
right, but I think the reason he showed it to friends who would have made sure that it was kept safe,
Mm-hmm.
like Christopher Isherwood, Edward Carpenter, like they're not gonna Lit and Strachey, they're not going to let that go. I mean, come on. So, fun fact of the day. I mean, fun fact, sad fact, interesting fact, I guess.
It's
Next.
fascinating.
Another Forster, where Angel. Oh my god, if there's a Morris in here, I'll be so happy. Where Angels Fear to Tread by Ian Forster.
Hmm.
I think I have 2 copies of Morris. Anyway, it's his first novel, published in 1905. It's a tragic comedy.
Huh.
I've never heard of this one. The use of sexual tensions and emotional consequences is a precursor of his later masterpieces, A Passage to Indiana Room with a View. Interesting. And it's a Bantam classic.
Of course.
Okay, what are we gonna have next? Should I go from that stack that seems to be A Room with a View?
Wow.
Ian
I'm
Forster.
breaking more Ian
Oh,
Forster.
and it has Howard's End in it.
Oh,
Oh, okay, Crusader says hydrate.
Yep, I need to refill my drink.
I've got nothing.
Crap.
Oh, wait, take a break and go
I
get
will
water.
Be right
Water
back.
refill.
Water refill. I've never. Chat, if any of you have read some of these books, speak up too. I know that Zen has been, and that Kintran has been, and Rickion is giving commentary about knowing or not knowing the books. This one, I see. I never read any of these. I think the only one of his I've read was Morris. I wonder what else is in the box. So exciting. It's like Christmas.
I accidentally filled mine up too much, so I had to take some sippies, or else it was going to overflow.
Ah, that's funny. I almost wonder, because of the fact that I'm getting so many duplicates of these authors, I wonder if getting another box would give me totally different authors.
Yeah, I care because it seems like they're somewhat stacked. Like,
Yeah.
to have authors at certain layers.
It seems because I'm now pulling. So from one stack was
Okay, I'm back.
Solzhen, the Russian one, and then under him was Forster, and from
Mhm.
another stack it was all Conrad. Yes, we're drowning wastes again.
As always.
As always.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna choose from a different stack.
Okay.
Ethan Frome.
Ah.
For Edith Wharton. Who was reading this? Somebody was reading this the other day. Ab says hydrate. Ab's your jerk. Oh, that one's just for waste, she said. Who's reading it? We read it. Oh, is it Jeff that's reading it?
I have no idea. I haven't tuned into Jeff's recent stream, so but I would not put it past him. He seems like he would definitely read something like this.
Yeah, it wasn't Soulkeeper because he does horror almost predominantly. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Falcor, so it must be Jeff who's reading it.
Yeah, so Falcor's in the midst of a different book right now, if I remember
Right,
correctly.
and I remember the title was really witty. Yeah, it must have been Jeff because the title was really witty. It was like From Something with Love. It was a play on Ethan Frome. I was like, oh, I know what he's reading. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I read this a long time ago. And I just remember it's very remote and there's a lot of snow. I need to reread it.
Yeah, From Wharton with Love. That's Jeff's most recent video.
Yep. Oh, there's notes. Parallel something sentences. Well, this is somebody's text. It's got underlines and stuff. That's fun. What did they underline here? Though she was but 7 years her husband's senior, and he was only 28, she was already an old woman. Well, I'm ancient then. God damn. Yes, that's
Okay,
right. Falcor's doing Never Ending Story. And Soulkeeper's doing Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that we all know what each other is reading, all the reading streamers. It's so fun.
I have no idea what anyone's reading, honestly.
Well,
I
you finished Treasure Island.
yeah, I finished Treasure Island, and I'm kind of outside the circle, you know.
No, you're not. Get out of here with that. Okay. Any other comments on Ethan Frome?
No, not at the moment.
No, I have no idea.
Okay. Oh, Kintran started Hound of the Baskervilles.
Good
That's
story.
a good one.
Yes.
It's a good one.
One of my
Next,
favorites.
Shakespeare! Hydrate again!
Drinking.
We're gonna
Henry
drown.
the Fourth, Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
And just to
love the
unsettle
histories.
Abs, I'm going to point out that I am drinking regular, plain, clean, clear water.
What?
Ooh.
That's gross.
No
I am drinking sodium, calorie, sugar-free grapefruit Bellevue sparkling water.
That does sound nice.
It's delicious. They should sponsor me.
I'm drinking nothing.
It's the only
recommend
water I will drink. Abs says,
Abs can
ew. I
Abs
agree.
can fester.
Ew, Abs. Matsu, you said, oh, Henry the Fourth.
Henry the Fifth. Henry the
Fifth.
Fourth.
It
Henry the
is
Fourth.
fourth.
Part
It's
1.
okay. Why do you say
it's
ew?
Hamlet the Fifth.
Henry the Fourth, Part 1.
Why ew?
Not
Or-
you.
Or
Oh,
you
depends.
sounded like ugh.
No, just saying. It's Henry the Fourth, Part 1. Not
I-
much to say about Henry the Fourth.
I've-
Not much to say about Henry the Fourth, Part 1.
Did he write part 1 and part 2 like together?
He wrote no, separately.
Well, I was wondering if he wrote them together and then split them off, or
Oh.
did he intend to write them to write 2?
Yeah, he did, but they were not written at the same time. They were written
Oh.
separately.
Okay.
And I think Henry the Fifth was actually written before Henry the Fourth was.
Okay. I never read any of his histories.
Oh, his histories are great.
Are they? I'll have to check them out.
The thing is, you have to have an enjoyment of politics and court intrigue to really kind of enjoy it.
Maybe I'll watch them instead.
That might work a bit better.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm currently reading a book on War of the Roses, so that's
Oh,
gives you
okay.
an idea of why I'm sort of
Yeah.
interested in this stuff.
Well, it's interesting too because it's so when I took a class on, I've taken classes on like obviously Shakespeare. It's as an English major, you really have no choice. You have to take a
Yeah.
basic class and then you have to take at least a class, unless you're focusing on Shakespeare. You have to take at least one class on either his comedies or his tragedies. I did comedies because I was like, no. But I also took a class on oh my god, Long Day's Journey into Night.
Oh, what was his name?
My brain is forgetting it.
Oh, I used to know the name of that writer.
Oh my god, it's gonna.
Eugene O'Neill?
Yes, O'Neill. Yeah.
I love O'Neill's stuff.
I was struggling with reading his until I started reading it out loud.
Yes.
Because plays are meant to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And that's,
yeah.
I think that's why a lot of people struggle with Shakespeare too, is because you're reading it and it's meant to be listened to and viewed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not intended to be read.
O'Neill is such a good playwright.
Yeah, I have a lot. There's a lot of like written fiction that's written like in a play script format, and it's just not as it's not as engaging.
It's not, and it's hard because there's so many different characters and they're doing different things, and you want to see in their interpretations too. Fun fact about O'Neill: I've been to his house.
Oh,
so it
wonderful.
It is fascinating. So it's down in, is it Norwich in Connecticut that it's in? It's down by the shore in Connecticut, And the way the house is built is fascinating because the family wanted to portray wealth and they didn't have that wealth. So, one of the ways to show that you had wealth was to have very tall ceilings. So, their first floor, where everyone would congregate and visitors would come, has very tall ceilings. The house does not replicate that, though. The top floor is very claustrophobic because they took the space to make the first floor's tall ceilings. They took it away from the top floor where they slept. So it is very claustrophobic. And I'm short and I was like, this is uncomfortable. Like, cause it was pretty bad. So if you ever get a chance to go there, it is very interesting. And we took the class I took, we went down there and read one of like part of one of his plays while we were there, and we watched like a little short film about his life and toured the house. But I remember that specifically. And you get to go into the bedroom. I think he shared it with a brother, which makes it even more claustrophobic. And his desk like right up against the window, so you could see like the view that he had while he was writing these. But you can sense why in Long Day's Journey into Night that the family like slowly kind of goes mad because it's based on his own like home, that kind of claustrophobic feeling crushing you down. It's really interesting. Okay, let's go back to the pile that had Conrad or Forster.
You're really leaning now. You're getting down.
I know. Well, that's on the opposite side. I'm touching the book from closest to me. I'm not moving at all. House on the Strand. I know Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca. I mean, probably, I would assume her best known work because it's still in print, but I don't know this one.
Interesting.
Over 700,000 hardcover copies in print in the first year. That's actually really good. Her greatest bestseller ever. How is it that I've never heard of this, and then yet
all the sellers no one's heard about.
Right, and then it surpassed Rebecca.
It involves time travel.
Is it really?
Yeah, it has time travel in it.
Oh yeah, on vacation at an ancient manor house, a young man takes an experimental drug that transport him 600 years into the past, while leaving his body in the present. That is interesting. So why is this not heard of like today? Or am I missing it somehow? Oh, it's got a map.
No, it's probably...
I don't know. It sounds incredibly obscure to me. Especially like with the concept like a time travel drug. That's interesting.
Yeah, that really is. Oh, it's got foxing on the pages. I don't know. I do like a good time travel, but
if it's done well, it can be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy to do time travel wrong, but like it is good when it's done well.
Yeah. Imagine getting so high you end up in colonial times. That's sad. That's a good one. Next, Matt. Hydrate, Shakespeare, Macbeth.
Oh, come on. Oh, it's the Scottish play.
I've never read Macbeth. I missed it in school.
It's not bad.
King Lear and Macbeth, we didn't read it.
It's an okay play. Nothing like history again, but it's okay.
Yeah, we didn't actually read Macbeth in the Shakespeare class, which was an interesting choice. I was kind of hoping we would, because it's like I was a stagehand in high school, so of course I heard all the superstitions from the
oh really?
Everything like that. And I can say for one thing, at least in our theater, the suspicions were true.
Wait, what are the suspicions?
You cannot say Macbeth on stage.
Scottish play.
You can refer to as Matsu is. You can refer to it as the Scottish play because the name Macbeth is cursed.
Yes,
and
really,
if you say it on stage, like some sort of mishap will usually befall a play. At least that's the superstition.
Yes, never whistle behind stage either. That is bad luck.
Why is it's bad luck?
There's a reason for it. There actually is.
It's the same reason you say break a leg on stage instead of good luck.
The whistling part actually does have a historical reason behind it. Way back in the day, a lot of the riggings for stagehands and all
Yeah.
that was performed by sailors that were hired off the docks, and they would
Oh.
communicate the change of scenes via
Oh.
whistling. So the idea was an actor
Oh.
whistling behind stage during production might accidentally signal one of the stagehands prematurely.
That's
So you're never
fascinating.
supposed to whistle.
Wow, that's so interesting. I
Huh.
didn't know that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
Well,
All right. As a quick aside, like for instance, like someone, I won't say who, but they went and were like very like just uncaring about the superstition and just like said it multiple times on stage.
yeah,
And then we were doing Fiddler on the Roof for our production that year.
yeah.
And during our dress rehearsal, a light fixture exploded above stage.
Ooh,
And then during our final performance, and we did not have a pit band for this one. We had pre-recorded soundtrack for people to sing over.
right.
During our final like senior performance, the music quit during the second act,
Oh,
and we
Oh,
could not get it working to the point where we had to stop the second part of the play and restart it after like the tech had been dealt with. So
wow.
yes, you do not mess with the superstitions.
So what about during the play itself? Can you
if you are
like
if you are
Mm,
performing Macbeth, you can say it.
okay.
Yes.
But if you're
But
It's
not performing it.
yeah,
yeah,
then you
it's
don't.
unavoidable if you're performing it. But
Yes.
yeah,
Okay. I need
Yeah,
to reset
if you're
that.
not performing it, then no, you do not.
the world of the stage, it's fascinating.
But Macbeth is,
Yeah.
I think someone in the comments mentioned at one point, Macbeth was written by Shakespeare to make King James happy.
Oh, yeah, somebody said that before, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's
Yeah,
one
because
made by Oh, Zen's talking about Macbeth parodies.
King James rep- King James by tradition in his family was descended from Banquo, who I'll just say Macbeth murdered. And so the idea was, oh, this is your family history. And Macbeth was this terrible person when, in fact, he kind of wasn't that bad.
Mm,
Zen said
yeah.
there's a parody made by the Scottish falsetto sock puppet theater where Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are referred to as Mr. and Mrs. the Scottish play.
That's good. I like
Oh, Kid
that.
That's
Tron was
pretty
the one who
good.
mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I think earlier I was when I mentioned Hamlet
Hmm.
in a specific context when I actually was thinking about Macbeth.
Mm,
Mm.
mm. Again,
Um,
Kurosawa made a Macbeth film. It's good.
Another one based off of Shakespeare. Wow.
Yeah, Throne of Blood. It infamously, the final scene terrified the actor involved.
Really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
because spoiler alert, in the film, the Macbeth character gets killed when his own men fire arrows into him.
Oh.
Ooh.
For the film, Kurosawa hired actual archers
Oh.
and had them fire at the actor.
Oh my god,
The
no.
actor had to gesture with his hands to show what direction he was going.
That I would no,
And
I would
it was reportedly Toshiro Mifune, who played the lead Macbeth character, was
Damn.
absolutely terrified through the entire time.
Oh, yeah, any real fear on that face is any fear is real. Like that's not acting. Oh my god. I mean,
Yeah.
yay to have real archers because you're less likely to have a stray arrow, but at the same time, oh my god, real archers.
Yeah.
At close distance.
Yeah. Oh no. My god.
Actually, I'm curious, Sophia, do you know
Yeah.
why most people say that Macbeth is cursed?
No, I don't.
Uh, People, at least the superstition is that Shakespeare put actual incantations during the witch scene towards the beginning, like
Oh.
the whole bubble, bubble, toil and trouble.
Yeah.
Uh, there's a belief that he may have like slipped in an actual incantation in there
Oh, interesting.
that had since cursed the play.
That's interesting.
it makes me think that the alleged cursedness of the play might have been the inspiration for the King in Yellow.
Quite
Hmm,
possibly.
Might have
That's
been,
true.
yeah.
I would not put it past
I
it.
want to read that on stream.
Oh,
Likewise.
yeah.
Yeah. That was touched on in the Doctor Who episode. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Okay, next book. The early plays of Chekhov.
Ooh.
Didn't we get a Chekhov play one?
We did get Chekhov's plays, but
So
I don't
this-
think it was early plays.
Ivanov. So some of them are duplicates, but there's more. I think Ivanov is the only one that is a duplicate. The Wood Demon on the High Road. On the harmfulness of tobacco. That's
Oh,
not an
yeah,
advert.
yeah, I forgot.
A
I
play?
forgot about that play. Yes, it's a play.
Really?
It's a play.
On the
I mean,
harmfulness-
obviously it is, but like,
Yes.
is it literally about? It seems like it's a short one. The Wood Demon is super long.
It's a one-act play with one character.
It's a dramatic monologue. Oh my god, that's
It's
it.
actually interesting. Because what it is, it's about a guy who's ordered by his wife to give a lecture about the harmful effects of tobacco at the town hall. And he just keeps going off topic and talking about how miserable his life is with his wife.
Oh my god.
Wow.
It's
Wait
about
a minute.
yeah, it's Ivan Ivanovich Nuhin, a henpecked husband, landlord of his wife's music school and girls' boarding school. He's got a long whiskers without a mustache, because it has him smoothing his whiskers as a stage direction. It was suggested to my wife that I deliver a popular lecture here for the charity. Why not? So I'll deliver a lecture. It's all the same to me.
So wait, it's on the premise of a lecture on the harmfulness of tobacco,
Yeah.
but
Oh
just goes,
my goodness. I
he
read
just
about
goes
it.
off on random tangents.
Yeah, and then
Oh.
halfway through he tries to get back on topic because he realizes his wife is waiting in the wings.
Oh my gosh. I'm definitely going to read that. It's short
It ends
enough
with
that I'll
him
just read it.
essentially begging the audience not to tell his wife that he screwed up.
1,
That's
2,
cute.
3, 4. It's like 4. If you count pages together, it's literally 4 pages long. It's just a
Yeah,
monologue.
it's just a short thing.
I feel like
that's-
I feel like I can draw a parallel. There's a stand-up comedian I follow by the name of Randy Feltface.
Okay.
If anyone's aware of him, he uses a hand puppet for his stand-up. But one of his more recent ones, Randy writes a novel. Like, he enters on the premise of, I've just written this novel. I don't know how good it is. I'm going to read a chapter to you. You all can tell me about it. But he then just keeps going off on different joke tangents because he's too scared to actually read the book in front of an audience. It's such an interesting, like, parallel. I wonder if he may have been inspired by this at all.
It's very likely. Like the one thing I've learned from consuming as much manga as I have is that fiction and media is way more interconnected with itself than it seems.
Mm.
Almost every single
Bye,
thing
Abs.
in every single work of fiction
He's very
that
cute.
I've ever consumed has been a reference to something.
Hmm.
This is hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm unhappy. I've turned into a fool, a nobody. But as a matter of fact, you see before you the happiest of fathers. As a matter of fact, that's how it should be, and who am I to say different? If you only knew, I've been living with my wife for 33 years, and I could say they were the best years of my life. Well, not the best, but generally speaking, they've flown by in a word, like one happy moment, and strictly speaking, the hell with them. Looks around. It seems she hasn't gotten here yet. She isn't here. I can say what I please. I get terribly frightened when she looks at me. Yes, as I was saying, my daughters won't be getting married for some time, mostly because they're bashful and because men can't get a look at them. My wife doesn't like to have evening parties. Oh my
Oh.
god.
This is great.
That
I
is
love this.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if it's translated, I won't be able to read the whole thing. Yeah, it's not. It was only translated in 1965. Maybe I'll give a
Oh.
dramatic reading in the Discord.
I would love that.
That'd be
That would be
fun.
so much fun.
That would be. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Is it a Chekhov? Is it Conrad? Shakespeare? Russian dude?
Oh, I want to
Steinbeck?
say Russian. Yes, I want to say Russian. The
Oh,
name
no.
we can't pronounce.
Faulkner.
Faulkner.
That's a first. Sartoris. A novel of a proud and passionate family. I've never heard of this one.
Hmm.
I mean, I've read The Sound and the Fury.
Yeah,
I've heard the author's name before. What's he famous for?
The Sound and the Fury, and what's the other one? As I Lay Dying.
Hmm. I've never heard of either of those, so I don't know why I know his name.
I think those are as well. It's the first of his novels about the hot-blooded Sartoris clan. Wait, is it in The Sound and the Fury then? He did The Sound and the Fury. I know.
I can't remember what else he did.
As I Lay
Sound of
Dying is not
Fury.
even in here.
He worked as a screenwriter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about him.
Yeah, he contributed to Have and Have Not and The Big Sleep.
He's a winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature. That one I knew.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah, he his short stories were set in Yoknapatawpha County.
Yeah, well, yuck.
Yeah, which I can't pronounce that. Oh, jeez.
Okay. Here we go. Ready?
Ready?
Let's see it.
Daphne du Maurier, Rule Britannia.
Ah.
Oh, a second book of the same kind. I'm surprised it had a similar print in here.
I know. Interesting. Set in the not-too-distant future on the raw, blustery English seacoast of Cornwall, Rule Britannia is the rousing saga of the indomitable woman who takes on the combined might of the British and American armed forces. Oh!
Wow!
Whoa!
That sounds interesting.
Oh! Oh!
What?
Oh! Irony. Oh.
Oh? What?
The novel is set in a fictional near future in which the UK's recent withdrawal from the EEC has brought the country to the verge of bankruptcy.
Well, I guess she predicted it.
Wow.
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 Interesting.
Incredible.
Apparently, they also join America. They join forces with America in an economic and strategic alliance.
Oh.
Interesting.
Huh.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be reading this one.
Yeah, I want to know what that relationship between the two countries is like.
Yeah, for real.
And also how she stands up to the both of them. Like, good lord.
Yeah, right? It says that she goes by Madam in the story, but it says that the American airplanes and troops swarm over the little town to protect England from retaliatory invasion, but they hadn't asked Madam. She leads the local protest forces, including irate villagers, her own brood of boys, and she hopes Emma, who is apparently an orphan, and also the boys are orphans as well. Apparently, she's just adopting children left and right. Interesting. Definitely gonna check that out. I have not seen that one either. I don't think.
I know.
No.
That one stands out to me as far as like a premise goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the stories that I haven't heard of yet.
I would like you to know that I am we're only halfway through this box. I just took a glance to see where we're at. One side I haven't even touched yet.
Man.
I mean, we're gonna cut it short soon.
I will admit I will have to go at 2:30.
At 2:30.
Leave. Yeah, I'll have to leave.
2:30. Which time?
Central.
Oh, okay. I looked and I'm like, it's 3 o'clock now. Okay,
yeah,
I think that's
Eastern,
a good one.
It's already well past.
Okay,
I will have to exit.
Okay,
then.
I think that'll be good. Let's do a couple more books and then we'll end stream, and maybe next week we can do this again.
Sounds good.
If
absolutely.
it works, or if
Yeah.
whenever somebody's scheduled. I will not look at the books. I will restrain myself. I will retape the box if I have to, so that I don't look. Because this is fun.
I just had the thought, like, Matsu's... No. Matsu's actually going to go with Eastern time. He's just going to take a drug to travel back an hour and actually leave at 2:30.
I was just looking at how long I've been streaming and thought it was 3 o'clock.
Hmm.
Because originally we were
Oh.
going to start.
Oh yeah, I did that too. I did that too. But because I'm
Oh.
East Coast, it's the same number.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, drink.
Oh
What?
no,
Wait,
what is
who
it?
is it?
Oh,
Shakespeare.
Henry the Fourth, Part 1
Hey.
again.
Another part 1. Come
Another
on.
Part 1.
This one,
Ah,
whose copy is this? Maddie. Oh, she wrote Maddie Reinsell. Very creative. Thank you,
Oh.
Maddie, wherever you are. Falstaff soldier. She's got her notes in here. This is pretty
Oh,
good.
nice.
Let's see. Maddie Reinsell. She's good equals bad. What?
Shakespeare actually got into some hot water about the whole Falstaff thing.
Really? Falstaff
Yeah, because he
shoulders.
based it
Loser.
off an actual noble whose
Oh.
family was still alive, and they weren't all that pleased to find out their ancestor was being depicted as a boorish, cowardly blowhard.
Oh.
And so he actually got kind of pulled aside. I think he was actually called in on it by the one of the ministers
oof.
about it.
Wow.
Say, yeah, you can't do that.
This is great. Here's from the Hotspur. Nor shall it, Harry, for the hour is come to end the one of us, and would to God thy name in arms were now as great as mine. And
Oh.
her note says, "Too bad for you."
Well, yeah, given what happens to Hotspur, yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
This is fantastic, and I like her notes. It makes it even more personal.
Mm.
Okay, let's
I
do.
wonder if she was a teacher too.
Based on the handwriting, I don't think so.
No?
No, I think she's younger.
Hmm.
Next book. This is a small one. Oh, Ellie Wiesel, Knight.
Ooh,
Great condition.
ooh,
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is a
it looks
tough one.
immaculate.
yeah.
I'm guessing war.
You've never read it?
No, I have not.
Oh my gosh. It is like
Ooh.
so along with Diary of Anne Frank, it is the Holocaust
Ooh.
novel to read. It is
Yeah.
Okay.
it is nonfiction. And it's he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1986. It's it is well, it's not nonfiction. It is but it's based on is it based on it? Wait, is it? No.
Yeah, it's based on his
It's based
experiences.
on his experiences in it because
Historical fiction.
it's historical fiction but based on his experiences. I think wait, is it nonfiction? I can't remember now. No,
It's fiction.
it is fiction. Okay. Because one of them I think is nonfiction. It's like a trilogy, but one of them is there's Night and then there's
Dawn,
Dawn and then Dusk?
Day.
Day. It is Day.
Yeah.
But it is absolutely horrifying because one of the scenes that really was the most impactful was when they're forced to move from one camp to the other because
Yeah.
the allied forces are coming in to like liberate them and they're forced to abandon the old camp and they have to run to the other one and it's in the middle of winter and they're not allowed to stop. They have to run the entire time. So during it people are just dropping dead from
Did I read
exhaustion.
this?
Mm.
It's
Hang on, I'm
common.
recalling-
I read it as a sophomore in high school.
I never
don't
read it, but I heard of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I don't remember if I read it because we had a World War II class specifically in my high school, but I don't recall if we read Night specifically or if it was a different novel that dealt with the same topic. Because I remember vividly
There's
reading paragraphs about that.
there's another one that's also was very famous for that, but I can't remember what it was called or who it was by, and I had a copy of it at one point. But this one, yeah, so after he was liberated from Buchenwald, he was also in Birkenau and Auschwitz. And Buna says he took a 10-year vow of silence before he would speak about what happened.
Wow.
Yeah. And the horrors that he had seen and experienced. It's just unbelievable. It's short, but it is
It is, yeah.
a powerful. It is not an easy read. Like, yeah, it's short, but it's not fast and it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hopefully end on a happier note.
On a cheerful note.
Oh, here's a heavy book. George Eliot's Adam Bede. I had to read this for a class.
Oh,
It's
really?
not bad. It's not bad.
Ah.
Ironically, the title of the class was Sex and Love. Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. We read Adam Bede, Pride and Prejudice, Morris, the nonfiction book Why Sex is Fun or Why is Sex Fun by the Jared Diamond, who wrote Guns, Germs, and Steel. That's a fascinating book if you want one. So
Guns,
interesting.
Shrooms, and Steel?
No. So Jared Diamond wrote the book Guns, Germs, and Steel, which I think is
Guns, Germs.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I know
that one. But he wrote one, it's a smaller volume, and it's either called Why is Sex Fun or Why Sex is Fun. And it's all about like human history, sexuality, reproduction. It's absolutely fascinating. Like, we all read it first for the class to like get understandings of like sex and history, like for like literary historical context. And we all like loved the book because it was just so interesting, because it talked about like it talked about a human anatomy versus animal anatomy and why, and then different animal anatomy too, compared like during species where like there's one like alpha male, and then in another where there's like, you know, there's no like specific, you know, there's no monogamy sort of thing. And then it talks about a lot of like, it kind of paints like, oh, the poor emperors of China, like kind of like, because they had so many concubines, and like every night he had no choice but to do this. Like, it wasn't his desire, but like the government was like, you need to do XYZ because we need as many of your heirs as possible, sort of thing. It was really, really interesting. I thought it was good. But yeah, Adam Bede, it's a longer one, it's drier. It's not, I would say it's not as interesting as Silas Marner, but it's still a good one. It's a good country story. It's a lot of pastoral imagery. Oh, first full-length novel.
Huh.
Yeah, it's very rural. I enjoyed it. Okay, let's do one more book.
Let's do
one more.
Okay, let's make it a good one.
That'll be a good one.
What pile am I going to choose from? Let's go with this one. Okay, here we go. Ooh, Daphne du Maurier, The Flight of the Falcon.
Ah.
Never heard of this one.
Me either.
It's gothic, though. I do like some gothic fiction.
I want to read more gothic fiction. I haven't read enough, I don't think.
Really?
Never. I don't think I don't think I've read much gothic fiction.
She did Jamaica Inn? I don't recall that.
Yeah, she did. She also wrote the short story "The Birds."
As in the one
I know.
Alfred Hitchcock
Yes.
movie is based on?
Really?
Yeah, she wrote the short story.
Huh.
So his film is based on hers.
Yes.
I had no idea.
He adapted, two of her works, The Birds and Jamaica Inn.
Interesting. I didn't know
Rebecca.
she.
I forgot Rebecca. 3 of them. Yeah.
Oh, he did Rebecca too. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know he did Rebecca. I know. I know a lot of Hitchcock, but I know
think
mostly like Burt. I know The Birds. That was a terrifying movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Although The Birds,
This one's got a bird on it.
Yeah, you explained that in our in our stream, didn't you?
Yeah, the short story actually gives an explanation of why the birds are attacking.
Really? Oh, so that's not in the film, though. I don't recall that.
No, they skip in the film. In the short story, they explain the reason is because the jet stream has changed, so it's changing the the food patterns and essentially starving the birds, and so they're attacking everything.
Oh, that's
Also,
interesting.
the short story ends on a very, very dour note with
I'm
no
sure.
hope.
Oh. Well, that's interesting too because I feel like if he had adapted it perfectly, it wouldn't have made it as terrifying because you
Mhm.
would understand why the birds are doing it.
Yeah, yeah,
Because it'd be like, oh, well, it's a natural consequence of, you know,
yeah,
things.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
But not
Understanding
knowing,
takes away fear.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'd be like, oh, it sucks and it's scary, but it's not like, holy shit, it's terrifying.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh,
God, that movie, what an exercise in tension. I love it.
yes.
I
Oh.
I need to rewatch it because the first time I watched it, I was bored by it.
See, it's been a long time since I've watched it, but yeah, it was I remember it being very tense. Like especially, isn't there the scene where she's like they're running into the school or from the school?
Away from the
Yeah.
school.
They're
Away
running
from the
away from
school.
the school, and it's just like, oh my god, that was yeah. So we
Oh, I
need
don't.
a movie night for it then. Yeah,
Yeah,
we should have a
Yeah, I'd
Hitchcock
watch it.
movie night.
yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah,
For me, it wasn't even the running away that was the scary part. It was the build up to it beforehand.
True.
Mhm.
Would like
yeah,
just it one crow lands on like
Oh
a
yeah,
playground piece, and then more just keep landing
yeah.
behind her.
yeah.
It's so ominous. It's like okay, one you wouldn't think, but then as they come, it's like oh shit,
Hmm.
like
I
what
think
is
it was.
going on?
I forget if it was like commentary on the birds that Hitchcock mentioned it, but like the uh means of creating fear in film, it's like you can like do a jump scare, like you can have a bomb appear on screen and then have it explode, like oh
Right.
what, like shocking,
Yeah,
or you show the audience a bomb with a timer ticking down and it's
Yes.
hidden under a table while you pan up and show the people just unaware of the bomb at
Oh
all.
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
They're both
So
great
Mhm.
fear, but one is definitely more
one is
lasting.
longer lasting.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That the gut feeling of oh my god, when are they going? Just look, that panic of you
Mhm.
trying to get them to look, and obviously you can't interact with a movie.
The dramatic irony of it is
Yeah,
powerful.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think the no, actually, is the question: which is stronger? If it's something that like if someone just leaned down and looked under the table, they'd see it, or if it was like in the wall and it like panned and the camera like panned through the wall, and you're like, no one will ever find this. There's nothing they can do.
I
Which would be
think
scarier?
I think it may be even scarier if there is some way to prevent it, but no one
Mm-hmm.
figures it out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Because then you
Mm-hmm.
have that lingering hope of like, oh, someone's gonna be able to find it.
Yeah, because you're
Right.
like,
Yeah,
look down, look under the freaking table, whereas in the wall, it's like, well, unless everyone's silent and they can hear the ticking, but even then, what are you gonna do? Rip the wall open right then and there? Because you're not gonna know
Mhm.
what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
I
why
was just
having
curious because I'm not big into
yeah,
horror, so.
it's why having the monster kind of creep up behind when the person can't see is scarier than just having it like suddenly just like leap out from somewhere. Like you'll get that jump scare, but then there's that it's the tension of it. It's always
Yeah.
yeah,
the tension of the
yeah,
scene.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like jump scares terrify me. I'm screaming all the time. My heart rate
Mhm.
shoots up, but then it drops.
Yeah, it goes away.
It goes away because it's not
Mm-hmm.
there's none of that tension there. Although I will say Mortuary Assistant had an equal bit of both.
True,
Because
true, true,
there
true.
were the jump scares that I lost it on.
Mm.
Mhm.
But then there's the tension of knowing that time is running out. Because you do have a time frame of which to solve it, and you can check on your sanity and your possession levels by scribbling on a notepad. So, scribbling on that notepad and seeing the images start to form some cohesive, like, demonic symbol, but not knowing how much farther you have to go before full possession takes on is terrifying.
Mhm.
Because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, I want to solve it before I get anywhere near that. But you probably can't unless you're guessing. So that was to me that one was equally horrifying in those both of those aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think so Matsu has to go and I think that's a good stopping place too because we've been at this for almost 3.5 hours and we're only like halfway through the box.
It was super fun though.
It was
this
is
super
so- it was great.
fun. Oh my gosh, this
I
was
enjoyed
awesome.
hearing you book nerds talk about your books.
Yes, and I like
Yes.
your you know, you had some to
Yeah.
add to it as well because you have like that, a different perspective to take it on, and you're looking at it from the lens of other cultural pieces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing my best to contribute something
You
because I
are.
do
You're
have a slightly
wonderful.
different
You're
context.
wonderful, Kanabo.
You are, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
You're wonderful.
It
Okay,
was a
so
pleasure having you here, Kanabo.
let's see who we're going to raid. I don't know. Should we find someone new to raid into?
Let's see.
I'm trying to see if there's anyone doing like a just chatting. I mean, I don't think there's going to be anyone doing unboxing, but
Yeah.
that would be too cool. Or is it your game we want to raid into?
I'm not sure.
I'm not either.
You
do
did
not
mention
know.
Mortuary Assistant before. Maybe someone's playing that.
Oh, maybe. What's that? Somebody's watching something creepy. Okay, let's see. Mortuary assistant. Who's that one? No, they're not playing it, but they're listed as playing it. There's a few people. I don't know who that one's 18 plus. So we're not going to go there. Let's just see. Mecca's playing 7 Days to Die.
Yeah.
Let's go visit
I'll be
Mecca.
down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go visit Mecca. Everyone, thank you for coming in and visiting and hanging out while we nerded out over books and looked over stuff. I am going to close this box and tuck it away so I'm not tempted. Before we go, so I tomorrow am going to be playing Cat Cafe Manager
Oh boy.
on
Oh.
stream at 8 p.m. Central Time. Waste, what about you? What do you have coming up?
Oh, let me see. Tomorrow I will be continuing my journey through. I don't know. Am I gonna do? I think I may do more Darkest Dungeon because I am hooked on that game, Darkest Dungeon 2. And then on Friday, thanks to your suggestion, Sophia, I have a few more Poe stories to read on stream that I'm gonna be doing. So I'll be doing those.
Awesome. 74% on the point goal. Yay. Okay. And Kanabo, what about you? What are you doing?
Nothing planned yet, but I do want to get back into streaming soon.
Good.
So, you might see me pop on to play some more Tears of the Kingdom, or maybe a something more retro, depending.
Ooh, okay.
I'll see what I can put together.
Sounds good.
And we'll see what I can figure out.
All right.
Yeah, hope to see you again soon, Kanabo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get streaming
I
again.
kind of want to get back into it. I've just been stressed lately.
Yeah, I
It's
think we're all
okay.
feeling
It's
that.
okay.
Yeah. Matsu.
So Tuesday I'll be playing more A Little to the Left, Cupboards and Drawers,
Yep.
which I've been playing for a while now and driving me nuts. And Thursday.
What's Thursday?
Thursday, I think we're reading something very special, aren't we?
Yes, we're reading
Yes.
finally Scarecrow of Oz.
Yes,
Back to
we're
Oz.
finally reading it.
Hell
I am
yeah.
excited,
Yay.
yes.
We got to talk about that when we're doing
Yeah, we
it.
have to talk about it, yeah.
Figure
And
out times.
I might be trying to add a stream or two.
Ooh, awesome. We always look forward to Matsu streams.
Mm-hmm.
We should do a Matsu doodle stream.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be so fun.
I will watch the hell out of that.
I would too. I'd be like, oh god, what shenanigans are gonna happen now? All right, let's see. I have so many books piled next to me on my desk and on my bookshelf and on the floor. When I make my post on my post stream Twitter, I'll put the account of how many books we've looked at today.
So I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to duck out really quickly.
Bye,
Okay,
Matsu.
Matsu.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, Matthew.
Yep, bye.
Okay, so the rest of us, we will head on over to Mecca. I'm going to start the raid now. Everyone, thank you for being here. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.